Welcome back. This week we're doing Matt's pick, Valentine from 2001.
No. Honto's pick.
No, we all kind of wanted to do this.
We've been talking about it for years now.
I was going to say, this is the only one that... I'm the only one on this that didn't want to watch this movie.
I will give you that.
It wasn't good.
Well, here's the thing. We wanted to do another Valentine's Day movie because we've done 3 so far, which were Matthew McConaughey's. And Matt...
Wait, that was Cinema Cult.
But it's still part of the same.
Last year we did...
we did Bloody
Valentine.
Yeah.
So this year we're like, do we do 2 movies? Do we do 1? So we just decided on Valentine. So we were going to do our horror... It's the only other Valentine movie besides Bloody Valentine.
I talked to Honto about this. I can't think of another horror movie that... It doesn't have to be around Valentine's Day, but has a Valentine's Day scene or whatever in it. You think there'd be more?
I don't know, but after this movie, I think next year we should go back to McConaughey. And
he doesn't have any more.
He does.
Oh my god.
The Ghost of Girlfriend's Past.
Wow.
Just sitting there waiting.
Dark House on the Hill.
Just
presents
Ghosts of
Girlfriend's
Past.
Okay, so I want to take this movie.
Okay.
And normally, okay. Oh man, I don't want to go on a rant, but with the internet coming out recently,
around the time of this movie?
No, like right now.
Good thesis statement.
Everybody's a critic. And, anybody can sit there and say, oh, this movie's trash, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you go make a movie. So everybody on the internet has some kind of thought. And I don't want to be those people who just sit there and just trash things. So I want to take this movie as a good exercise and talk about what it does well, what it does bad, and I want to talk about how we can make these scenes better, which we kind of always do. We always weigh the positive and negatives.
We talk about
in the form of jokes.
I feel like this movie, though, has so many opportunities that were missed.
Actually, yeah. I actually agree with that.
I have a lot. I really want to dissect this.
There's a really big opportunity that's missed, and I feel like if they made this nowadays, it could be like a social horror film.
Yes. Yeah, they could.
And I feel like that's the biggest missed opportunity for this movie.
They did. They did Swim Fan, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember
Have
Swim
you guys
Fan.
seen Swim
I was
Fan?
like, didn't you go on a date to Swim Fan?
No. I swam on a date, like a calendar date.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's what you're thinking of.
Good save on that one.
Yeah, I don't even know what that was. No, I think I had a buddy who went and saw that. It was like one of his first dates
Was his
ever.
name also Chris?
Yeah, a buddy, who saw it and it was like a first date, and that's the only I was like, how was Swim Fan? He's like, I don't know. He's like, it was the first time he ever made out with a girl.
Okay.
It was during Swim Fan, so that's
well, that's why he can't. Yeah, that's probably why.
That's all I know about Swim Fan. So
yeah, cool. Man, thanks for filling us in. Okay, so we'll go into our normal things. Guess what it has on Rotten Tomatoes?
Like single digits, maybe. Is it single digits?
No, it's not a question. You tell me.
10%.
45.
10%.
Matt says 45.
Yeah, I go with 45.
Are we doing like Price is Right rules?
No, you guys are fine. 9%.
Oh,
Matt, you gave this
I went
a
over
45%.
Yeah, but what movie?
You made it sound like weird, stupid. Right there, like no, but
no, because like there's movies on there that like on. Okay, hold on.
No, go ahead.
Just last week, you were like, "We're not going to go off Rotten Tomatoes."
Oh
anymore.
no, I didn't say we're not going to go off Rotten
trust
Tomatoes.
them anymore.
It's booger reviews.
No, I just said personally, I'm not going to sit there because when I read them, it gives me expectations for movies. I read it afterwards.
It's different when we talk about it for the podcast.
Oh, sorry.
No,
but there's reviews on there sometimes where it's like
people think it's like the best
I brought
movie.
this up before. Like Plan 9 has like Plan 9 from Outer Space has like a 60% on there or something.
Yeah, that's like a really bad.
Yeah, because it's recent bloggers that are putting their reviews in for an older movie, and they're like, it's fun and nostalgic, and it's like, okay,
it's still a review,
but it's not like
a review's a review.
I know, but Plan 9 is like critically one of the worst movies of all time.
Clearly not, because this has a 9% and I had a 60%.
I know, but do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do
okay, you get it.
Yeah.
Like, not to explain to Chris what I'm trying to say.
Hanto has no idea.
That
what were we talking about again?
like okay,
Valentine.
No, I know.
Valentine's old enough to have it has recent reviews, obviously.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like sometimes you get those movies on there.
Revisit in 20 years.
Wait,
to
did
get
you
the
say
real...
recent?
Huh?
This movie's recent? Is that
No,
what
you
said?
get those movies where like within the past, like I want to say like 10 or 15 years.
Okay.
On Rotten Tomatoes that have like 140
Yeah.
actual online reviews.
You let them.
for
You
when
let,
that
you
movie
let it
came out.
age like a fine wine, pretty much.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair, but this one's 18 years old, so it doesn't fit into
It's
your
18
timeline.
years, but how many reviews are on there?
It's a mess right now.
How many?
I don't know. I don't want to get into it. This is a rabbit hole, bro.
No,
this is
it's
a
fine.
total.
No, I know what you're saying though.
Okay, but I'm saying that like older, like if it's a little bit older, sometimes there's bloggers that come on there like I like Valentine,
And that's fine,
a
I
fun
get it.
movie, and
But
they give it a high review. And
I think there's nothing wrong with that. A review is a review. If a movie ages better over time, that's fine. I think that's totally okay with me.
I don't think so. I think
so. 2001's Valentine.
Finish what you're saying, Matt. I want to know what you're saying real quick.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
That a movie has to be judged based on the time it comes out? Because that's what you're saying.
Based off Rotten Tomato reviews, yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
That's why.
Because there are movies, if we're going to go off like Rotten Tomato reviews, that feels like it's the like it just came out. It just came out and we're like, "Oh, these are the 140 reviews about this movie." Okay. But if it's an older movie, it has a nostalgia factor. Now, this isn't like quite there. I'm just talking about older movies. Like when I bring up Plan 9 from Outer Space, it's got a high review on Rotten Tomato because there's certain people out there like Fox Mulder who will watch that movie and really enjoy it, and they watch it because they're like, "Oh, it's just nostalgic," and it's,
what's wrong with that?
But it's not the intention of the director at the time. It's just become a really fun movie over 50 years because it's
cult
bad.
classic.
There's nothing wrong with
cult classic.
Yeah, which Valentine is not.
So you're gonna argue? Do you think Wonderful Life is a good movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. When it came out, reviews were horrible and it got torn apart.
Yeah.
So you're saying all these reviewers 20 years later, this movie is garbage? You're saying Wonderful Life is a bad movie?
No, because I'm talking about.
I just winked at Honto to trap Matt. Go ahead.
Like with It's a Wonderful Life, it did get reviewed badly when it
was
came
horrible.
out.
Yeah, it was like torn apart.
But it's not like I just feel like if you're gonna sit there and take like Rotten Tomatoes
as like the sole resource for.
But I mean, I'm sure it has like a 90-something on Rotten Tomatoes. Wonderful Life does.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but it doesn't count. It is a bad movie. You're saying
it's no.
Well, no, I'm trying to get on
at the time of release.
Like, do you think Plan 9's a bad movie?
I've never seen it in full. I've seen clips.
He doesn't watch anything before 1980.
1982.
Oh.
Okay, like, all right, you watch something like, okay, and then I'll say this. Here's a recent movie.
The Thing.
The Thing was critically, like...
Yeah. So it's really not that good, you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that, like, okay, Birdemic. Or, like, The Room. Okay. These are, like, considered bad movies.
Yes.
But people might watch them and be like, they give it a high review because it's, like...
It's
over
fun,
time, it's entertaining because it's so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So then it's still a good movie. It's entertaining. It does its job.
Never mind. Forget it.
It's cult classic territory.
If that's what you're getting at, that it's just an entertaining movie, then why are we even talking about
So you're saying, okay, but I get what you're saying. If it's over like 15, 20 years old, it's a bad movie. Automatically.
No.
So you're saying anything that didn't come out yesterday is bad?
Dude, I feel like... Okay.
Just kidding. I know exactly what you're getting at.
Why'd you make me explain it for like 20 fucking minutes?
No, I didn't say I agreed. I just say I get what you're saying.
I know, but what you're saying is regardless of the movie being
good or bad... We just lost 10 listeners.
No, we've lost everybody. We've lost all Philadelphia.
Your statement was that if it's a good... It doesn't matter if a movie is good or bad. As long as it's entertaining, it's a good movie, is what you just said. And if you're saying that... then why are we even talking about Rotten Tomatoes?
No, it's a fact. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 9%.
I guarantee you, what I'm saying is this. In like 20, 30 years...
Yes.
I didn't think Valentine was a very good movie.
You think the internet's done in 20 years?
I don't think Valentine was...
Matt said it here first.
He thinks it will be deserving of the 45% Rotten Tomatoes
it'll be up
score.
there at that 45%.
And you can convince people that it needs a 45%. That's fine. If that's your mission, you do that.
What I'm saying is there's horror movies we watch on here that we watch them... now we're like, oh, I kind of like that. Like, I thought it was pretty good, and it's got a higher review now than it did then, even though it was like considered bad.
It has time to sink in. In. People talk about it,
and sometimes movies got to age.
I think Valentine came in this. Now we're gonna revert it back. I'm gonna bring us back, guys. All right, I feel like with Valentine came out in this like sea of slasher films, and at that time it was like considered okay. This is just another one of these.
Yeah,
and like I would say,
it's
like
the same director as Urban Legend, so it's like that falls in that category of Urban Legend, Scream, and just the reviving the whole slasher genre.
Yeah, and I didn't like this movie when it came out. The first time.
I feel like the same way too.
And but I was like,
my opinion hasn't aged at all. Like, it hasn't changed.
Just last Valentine's Day, I follow somebody on Instagram, and they were putting out like Valentine shirts and stuff like that. And
like of the killer's mask.
Yeah,
that's
like
really
it was
weird.
Like basically like somebody was gonna buy this shirt and be like, oh, I like that movie.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the opinion would change over time because it becomes like nostalgic all of a sudden.
True.
Yeah, it just ages well.
Yeah.
So you're saying you like this movie. So this movie was on a $10 million budget, made $36 million. So I guess it's a hit.
Yeah. Not really.
Why is it not a hit? It made 3 times the
budget.
It
didn't make Scream money.
But it's still a hit. I think anytime a movie makes money, it's a hit.
Really?
Sure.
It made over? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even remember
They spent $1 and they made money back.
Actually, fun trivia for this movie, for that budget part. It is the cheapest movie ever to have a Super Bowl spot.
Oh wow, yeah. I guess it came out because
really?
of February movie, right?
Yeah. And
so
fun
it
fact
spent
too,
like $10 million on that Super Bowl spot.
No.
no, the movie cost $10 million.
You guys
Yeah.
are gonna have to make the movie for free.
Yeah.
Look, we spent it all on this damn TV spot. Fun fact too, this trailer actually has a female narrator, which I can't think of another trailer that had a female narrator.
Yeah, that's weird. I haven't really thought about that.
So before we get into the trivia, there's not much trivia in this movie.
I say yeah.
Let's get into some of the cast real quick though. This movie was directed by Jamie Blanks, who did Urban Legend, which is a movie we've been talking about for years, wanting to do on this. That's one where
I
they did
remember
the opposite of Valentine. I remember when it first came out, I was like, "This movie's my Citizen Kane," and
wow, pick better movies.
and then like 10, 15 years later, I watched it and I was like, "This is not what I thought it was."
I remember liking it a lot as a kid, but I think I've tried rewatching it fairly recently and remember not being able to get through it all.
I want to rewatch it just because I don't know. I remember
This
having a
October.
lot of fun with it.
Or we're talking about Urban Legend.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Valentine. Just joking. Rotten Tomatoes.
Here's the thing about Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, man. There's something I really do like about the story for Urban Legend.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't
it's
play out
there.
right.
Yeah. It's like the premise is all...
Premise is awesome.
Yeah,
I
the
love
premise
it.
is really
but
cool.
the execution is awful.
I remember coming out and like it has like a really like cool creepy premise to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, and I feel like there's like you watch it and it's just bringing all these stories. You're like, oh, I remember that story. I remember that story.
Sure.
I kind of feel that the Scary Stories movie that they're going to come out with in this year, 2019, is going to have that kind of feel where they're going to have to try to bring in all of these like
Or it could be an anthology.
scary stories.
I hope it's the anthology route just because that's how the book is set up.
It doesn't look like an
But
anthology.
I feel like
though.
it's going to be like, monsters are let loose in this town, a sleepy town of whatever, Derry, Maine, you know.
I think it's
Like,
going to be that too. I
now
think that's
it's like,
exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So for the cast for this movie, actually there's some fun things. This is a little bit of trivia. So first of all, we got Denise Richards, who's probably the biggest actress. Well, Katherine Heigl.
She's top billed in this movie.
Is she top billed?
Mm-hmm.
Denise Richards, World Is Not Enough. Is that the right one? No.
Yeah, Twine. Yeah,
World Is Not Enough. Wild
Christmas
Things.
Jones.
yeah.
What else was she
Starship
in?
Troopers.
Starship Troopers. That's probably my favorite movie of hers. I'd probably say Starship Troopers.
I mean, that's a good movie.
Yeah,
I like it.
I have not seen it since it came out.
It holds
and
up really. You want to talk about a movie that aged really
I
well?
hated that movie when it came
Oh,
out.
I loved it.
I didn't
loved
get it.
everything.
I
Yeah, it's a
didn't-
political satire.
I did not get it.
I didn't get it either. Well, and it's
Yeah.
It's just like all Verhoeven's movies, though.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
just like
commentary.
RoboCop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's
a
one of the-
commentary on society and.
But it's like one of those
Government.
ones. If I watch it now, I bet you I will really like it. I just hated it when it came out because I was like, "This is stupid,"
Yeah.
and I didn't understand it. I was thinking
Sure.
it was like 12 or something when it came out. Or like
No, because I was 12 when it came out.
and I was like, what was it? 90?
No, actually, I was thinking it
then
was
Matt
like
would have been 21 when it came out.
10 or- I
21.
was 10 or 11, I
I didn't
think.
get it. No, I think it was like 10 or something at the time, or like 9 or
Yeah.
going back 8, 7, 6.
Any
one of those
number
years.
would do,
Any
yeah.
of those, any of
Yeah,
those years I was
yeah.
alive.
Definitely an age. We also have David Boreanaz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Boreanaz.
He
Of Angel and
of
Buffy
Angel,
fame.
Buffy, and Bones.
Bones. And that Navy SEALs show that he's on
I
right
have,
now.
oh, has he got a new show?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Dude, I like him. He doesn't do much in this movie,
He's not really in this movie at all.
but
He's pretty obvious. in
Yeah, it's
this movie.
obvious. Super obvious.
yeah, totally. But
Because he doesn't do much.
Well,
I
oh,
because-
wait till we get to the end because I have some beef with this movie.
Well, I want to say because like they introduce all these male actors,
yeah,
like just
dude,
just
and
like-
I
just
think
to
they're all
suck
the
you.
same person.
Oh, really?
Dude,
Yeah.
there was like 4 guys that showed up.
There's
and
2
I was
that
like,
looked
oh, that's
similar.
the same guy. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then like I was watching with my fiance and she was like, no, that's blah blah. And I was like, I can't follow it. When you have all the guys look the same and 3 of your 4 main characters are all blondes,
Yeah.
that
throws it off.
That
That's
does not
weird,
work.
dude. Nobody was blonde in this movie. But, the girls. I
Yeah.
thought you meant the guys. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what are you talking about?
Matt
The guys
looked
are
around the
blonde.
room like he got me on something.
Got
and
him.
he
Burn.
did.
No, and I think, like, they're all red herrings.
Yeah, they
But
are.
they're like-
They're set up to be, but it doesn't work because
They
kill
cut them
them
off so quickly.
They kill him off in the beginning of the movie, and you're like, okay, I only have one person to choose from now, and it's probably that guy.
Yeah. I feel like this movie could have gone in a route. I'll say this right now. I feel like this movie could have gone in a route where all of these dudes could have been the red herrings for the entire movie, and then like you get to the end of the movie and you're like, who could it be?
Yeah.
But the only problem is who could it be is the only one that's left.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's like
You don't have a big option. You're like, oh, it could be this person.
And then like
Yeah.
everything that he says to Marley Shelton is basically like, I've always loved you, and you're like, okay, I can kind of deduce it.
I see what's going on.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marley Shelton, she was in. I don't know the characters' names in this movie, so we're going by actresses' names.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Marley Shelton. She's one of the main characters. She is the main character. She is in Grindhouse.
Yes.
She's in Scream 4.
Yep.
And she was the lifeguard in Sandlot. We also have, this one was fun. Okay, so I've seen this girl in movies, did not know who she was. Jessica Capshaw.
Yeah.
Spielberg and...
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
okay.
what I saw her name, but I was
I
pretty
saw
sure.
it too, and then once it's actually Kate Capshaw's daughter, so it's Spielberg's stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I saw that name. I was like, Capshaw is a pretty like specific last name.
Yeah.
And
I was wondering. I forgot to look up this information.
if you look at her, you could definitely see the similarities. Who's
she in this movie?
She was Dorothy,
Oh, okay. Okay.
the only character name I know.
Yeah.
Then we also have Jessica Kauffiel, I think is how you pronounce it. I remember her from White Chicks.
I have never seen that. I've only seen the Terry Crews singing Vanessa Carlton.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very good scene.
Check it out, and there's a good scene where Terry Crews is blowing a whistle at a techno show. And as he's dancing, he's blowing the whistle. It's a pretty good...
Yeah, I love Terry Crews.
He's great.
She was also in Legally Blonde, which I've seen but don't remember. We have Katherine Heigl,
Yeah.
who is in this for
think
a
she was-
record 5 minutes.
I think she was on her lunch break for Roswell at the time.
Yeah, I guess she had just
Oh,
gotten
really?
signed for this.
Oh, okay.
So she had just got on Roswell.
She was just
so
a-
she was like, I can only do a few days or
Gotcha,
something like that.
okay.
So, speaking of Roswell, I guess because David Boreanaz and then Heigl were breaking out with their new shows at this
Yeah.
time. And I guess they
On the
went to
WB.
Comic-Con to promote this movie.
Oh,
which-
Valentine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to them for pushing Valentine.
Oh, that's usually what they do when they market movies. They have their actors go push
You
their
teach
movie.
me so much. Then we have a few oddball actors. We have Danielle.
Oddball actors, like what?
Yeah. No, like ones when I say them, you'd be like, oh yeah, that is.
So
him.
just-
Oh,
Respectful,
okay.
I got these
Yeah, I thought you were
oddballs.
just saying they're just random oddball characters.
Bring in the oddball characters.
Yeah.
We got Johnny Whitworth from Empire Records.
Yeah, I was
Who
gonna say
played the art guy.
Yeah, that's
He's-
who that was.
He was covered in goatees and long hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one, you might not be as excited as I am about this, but the guy who plays Campbell, Dorothy's.
I know.
You know what
Is
he's
it
from?
who
Yeah.
I think? Who is it?
He is the jerk from Van Wilder.
He's famous for eating that pastry filled with dog semen.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
And taking a shit in front of a group of doctors.
That's the only scene I remember. From. So,
The height of his
He's the main villain in Van Wilder.
part of
yeah,
that movie.
based on a book.
Is it really?
Yeah. I guess the setting is a little different, but I don't know. I
Like
didn't
mass
really do
killer and
comparisons.
everything?
I
Cupid
will-
killer? Or?
I will
Yeah.
say this: I got a major Fear Street vibe while watching
Okay.
this movie.
Yeah, good call.
Where I was like,
I'll give
man,
you
this is like a '90s
the-
teen novel.
That was
right
the
here.
R-rated R.L. Stein.
Yeah, the
book series.
R-rated Goosebumps.
Yeah, R-rated Goosebumps.
But it is. It was like, this is so like, I could imagine like 1992, somebody's walking around with this copy at like in their high school. Like,
Valentine?
I'm reading Valentine.
yeah.
You know?
I could see it. Yeah.
What,
And
how
like,
old is the book?
I didn't look it up, but it definitely came out before the movie. I know that.
Oh, good trivia. I didn't know that.
I do my work.
Solid.
The writers, there are a couple writers on this film that did work on, like, I think Deep Blue Sea. And
Oh, great. Other hits. Other hits of the 90s.
I think Deep Blue Sea was.
I'm glad we got an all-star team to work on this movie.
I need a ragtag team of writers.
So for the few trivias that are on here, they originally were casting Tara Reid and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Okay, yeah, basically the Scream Queens from other
Yeah.
movies.
And then originally offered to Richard Kelly to direct,
Okay, that would
which
be weird.
I'm interested.
Was
Yeah.
Donnie Darko's first movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it for trivia. All right, well, let's go ahead and dive into the flick. Let's start off. We got the school dance. And I will start off with a positive on this movie.
I will start off with a positive as well.
I know what you're going to say.
Go ahead.
So it all starts off, and our main characters in the movie are in 6th grade. And I will tell you what, they got some good actresses to look just like their
Yeah.
older
Did.
selves.
Dude, when they showed the Denise Richards one, I'm
Dude,
like,
that was
holy
insane.
shit. I was like,
Yeah.
that looks
I was
just
very
like
impressed.
Denise Richards.
Pretty good.
So you have all these 6th graders, And this guy's walking around asking all these girls to dance, and they pretty much say,
Like, it's this guy, it's a kid, like it's a.
Well, I didn't mean it was like a.
Oh
tiny,
yeah, like it's a 30-year-old man. He's like, "Hey, do you want to dance with me?
Can I have
dance?
Can I have
Boom,
this dance?
Valentine." No, you're
Buffalo
like,
Bill from.
I guess.
It's not like Buffalo Bill.
dude. I tell you what, though, this guy has this is the guy.
It's weird.
This kid has so much motivation. He's like, I am gonna get a dance tonight.
Kudos.
Yeah.
Props to this kid.
Yeah.
I think I asked
We could not do
one girl to dance, and if she said no, I was like, all right, I'm going home.
Mom, can you pick me up?
I will be going home.
As you
this
accept your no, your eyes start to water up. You're like, that's fine.
evening.
That's your right to say no.
I'm not crying.
I'm okay.
You're crying.
But he just keeps going, man. He's like,
Dude,
looks,
props. Yeah.
looks are not a label. He's like, I will find myself a dance this evening.
Awesome.
Time is but a doorway. I'll be back.
And he ends up making out with the girl that night. So it's like
Yeah. So because all the girls say no except for one who's kind of like, yeah, maybe later or whatever, which is Marley's character.
Uh-huh.
And then he meets one girl who's sitting on the bleachers by herself,
Which is Dorothy.
which is weird because Dorothy is like in the friendship with the other girls.
she
but they're
kind
not
of
hanging out.
She kind of mentions it though.
What do you mean? What
Later
did she
on,
say?
she's always like, she was the brainy one, blah, blah, and I was always the fat one.
Well, no, but I'm saying is that she looks like the outcast at this this
Yeah,
dance,
yeah.
but aren't they supposed to be this tight group?
really quick.
Okay, Matt's
I
smiling.
thought I heard something in this movie, and I was like, did they call her what I just thought they called her? Did they call her Buffalo?
What?
Yeah.
In the beginning, they do, right?
What?
Yeah. They call her Buffalo in the beginning of this movie. Like when the guys, like the boys, call her that.
Yeah, they totally call it.
Yeah, they call her Buffalo.
Like
call
after
it-
they intervene, or
they call it during like.
during the dance, or
They
Yeah,
call it
no.
Dorothy Buffalo.
Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, you got it. So Dorothy's like, yeah, I'll dance with you, and she ends up making out with this guy. What's the kid's name?
Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah. So Jeremy, she makes out with Jeremy into the bleachers. This group of kids comes over, and I'm going to ask this too. So this group of kids comes over, and they start to pick on him, and Dorothy's like, hey, this guy kind of attacked me. I didn't want any of this.
That's bullcrap.
Yeah.
Dorothy.
Yeah. And so the kids pour punch on the kid, which
He had
I
it
get
like ready. He's like, he attacked Buffalo.
Here's what's gonna happen.
He's like, did
You're
he
gonna
attack
carry,
Buffalo?
Yeah.
You're gonna carry this bowl of punch around, and when we find someone to pour it on, you just pour it on them. Okay. But it's such like a Carrie ripoff. I feel like it was.
They're all laughing at you. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
But I will tell you right now, like I was watching with my fiance, and like just watching this whole like credit sequence, I was like, man, I have never sympathized with a slasher killer more in a movie.
Entire movie, I was rooting for the bad guy.
Yeah, I was like,
This is like the tagline for Payback. Get ready to root for the bad guy.
Double feature. So they pulled Jeremy out, and I think they did pants him or something. Or...
Yeah, they basically they do all the dirtiest tricks to him.
Where are the chaperones at this dance?
I don't know.
There's not one chaperone.
Yeah.
And it's like the kids put on this dance, and they're like, look, I don't have anything to do with it. You're 12. You know how to run a dance. I'm like,
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
this one.
I feel like this would be easy to spot, especially the part where they start beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I bet, yeah, why are all these guys huddled around the bleachers and everyone's screaming?
Yeah.
Like,
And where's the punch?
Yeah.
I am thirsty. Where's the punch?
So we cut to 13 years later, and we got one of the girls all grown up, and it's Katherine Heigl. And she's on a date, and this
What
guy...
age are they? They're like 22, right?
21, 22, I figured.
Yeah, I did not look like this when I was 21, 22.
They're basically
Because you were not a female.
I was more like Jeremy. Like,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
no, that'd be David Boreanaz. No, I wasn't like. I didn't look like anybody.
You'd be like
in this-
the first guy in the speed dating scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
the one who couldn't talk. But
Yeah.
That's about right. So 13 years later,
I
Heigl's
was
on
gonna
a
say the
date.
one talking about his mom, but
my mom is my best friend.
And while she's on this date, Heigl is just not amused by this guy at all.
Yeah.
Because he talks in like third person. In the whole date, okay, I'm gonna go on a rant. So the whole date, she's like, "Oh, I just want this to be over with." He gets the bill, and he's like, "Maybe we should split it." And she like rolls her eyes, kind of like,
that's rude.
"Dude, this is a first date, and you want him to pay for this entire bill?"
Yeah.
I'm all for going back and forth and buying some meals.
Sure.
But the fact that he's supposed to look like a douche because he didn't pay for the dinner,
Yeah.
that kind of whatever. So the date ends. She leaves, and this is supposed to be. This character's weird because he pops up at times, and then you think that he
The killer?
Yeah,
He
you
pops up at
know
times.
he's not the killer. It's obvious.
but they play him off like it's such a goofy character. It's like, okay, I know he's not the killer.
Yeah.
But is this the guy they talk about later on? His name's Marquette?
Yes, this is the guy that's in custody for the entire movie.
Yeah, I was like, they keep talking about this random dude, and they're like, we released him, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you gotta show this guy more often if you're gonna.
They show
keep
him
mentioning him
pretty much twice, right? This one scene, and then he pops up later on. I think.
Does he? Because
pop
I
up
don't
later?
remember
That's
this
what
guy.
I'm saying. There's like 4 dudes that look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was the guy that pops up later at the art gallery.
That's the Empire Records guy.
Yeah, no, there's another guy there too.
Oh
and
my
he's,
God.
It is him. That's him. He pops up later on at the art gallery because he's like, Jason,
Dude,
I'm
do
Jason.
not make a movie when your females and your males look similar to
That's
each other.
very true.
Yeah.
You gotta
And
have
that's
like
why those Friday the 13th work when you're like, all right, we need a punk chick. We need a guy in overalls who always wears overalls.
Yeah, you do your
we need,
Breakfast Club formula
you
of
need
characters.
that. Because,
Well,
especially in a movie that doesn't have a lot of character development, you need to be able to be like, okay, I know which character that is
Differentiate.
because they wear 7 earrings. I don't know.
Cool. At least
Whatever.
I know that person wears 7 and the other person wears 6.
Yes,
Like, I
so
got it.
you know
I
who's
got
who.
it.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like the girl had it, Capshaw.
Yeah.
She said it at the end when she was like, "Yeah, you were the brainy one."
That's what I
like,
was- yeah.
Like she identifies
But those aren't-
all of
yeah,
them,
but those aren't in the
their
movie.
traits.
No, not at all.
Yeah, those aren't their traits
Well,
throughout the movie.
Yeah, it was kind of like a off-screen characteristics, I guess. You know?
Yeah, like Denise Richards has the most character in this movie, surprisingly.
She does.
and she actually does a pretty decent job in this movie.
does a pretty good
her
job.
character is supposed to be kind of like I guess she's kind of slutty. I mean,
Yeah, she's supposed to be the slutty character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And okay,
because they even say it. They're like, "Yeah, she's the slutty one." Like,
she's the overconfident. Yeah. So Katherine Heigl leaves this date and she goes back to I guess school to do.
She's doing her basically prepping for her, I think her final exam to get into medical school.
Yeah, so she can work on Grey's Anatomy,
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy, exactly.
Whoa.
which is weird because
With her
Whoa.
coworker, with her co-star.
Capshaw
Yeah,
was
Capshaw.
on.
Also
really?
Grey's Anatomy.
were they
Anatomy
both?
as well.
Was it Grey's Anatomy?
And Capshaw and David Boreanaz were on Bones together as people who had a kid.
Oh.
So like they had. a
Whoa, you
relationship.
watch Bones?
No, I read.
Oh, really?
I read trivia.
They had they had a kid on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They named
Like, it's
little,
make-believe,
little
though.
Stevie Spielberg.
It's make believe though. It's just part of the story.
Oh.
Not actually
Okay.
had a kid.
Like a
So when the
fictional-
show's over, who gets the kid?
Yeah, the show's been over for a couple of years. Who has his kid now?
That's what I want to know. So Heigl goes back and she gets ready to cut into this body. Was it? I always say this word.
cadaver.
Cadaver?
So she's getting ready to cut into it and she hears a noise. So she walks around, and I will say, every death in this movie drives me insane because every death in this movie starts off with, is someone there? And then the character
the
walks around.
boringest lead.
Dude, someone
It's
walks
the
around for
boringest lead.
5 minutes until they're chased. It happens to
And
every
then
character in this movie.
And then they
Does
put
it?
themselves in a corner by going into somewhere
Dude.
they can't escape.
It is literally the dumbest cliche slasher film thing where it's like I've never gone and investigated a noise in my entire life. First off,
I'll stand
But-
there and I'll wait till I hear it again,
My-
and then
my-
I'll shut the nearest door.
I say
It
my
is-
fists clench up immediately, ready to roll, pretty much.
yeah, like it is literally the boringest lead because it's just like okay, like I zone out for like the 5 minutes they're searching,
Dude.
and then I come back. And I'm
Yeah,
like, all right.
but I
until,
will
until
give-
there's music happening, that's when you're like, okay, like I'm into it.
like at one point, Denise Richards explores a room
oh yeah, it's super
that has
dumb.
4 corners and
has-
no other avenues.
it has 4.
and she's like looking for this noise. There's nothing
I say
in
it
here.
has 4 corners in a jungle. Apparently.
Yeah, apparently this is like a jungle, and I'm like, what?
What were you gonna say, Chris?
So I was gonna say that this opening scene I actually do give props because I figured this whole opening scene was gonna be like, gotcha, it was a joke.
Yeah,
Me too.
Heigl dies.
Yeah, I'll see you at the exam tomorrow or something. You
Yeah,
know,
someday.
Yeah,
But here's the thing about this movie is I feel like this movie, and this is weird because I usually complain about movies being too long.
Yeah.
This movie it goes right into it. I feel like this movie never starts.
No.
It goes right into it and characters die and that's it, end of movie.
Yeah.
I feel like a Friday the 13th Part 7 has more like build up. It's weird. I've never watched a movie that just starts like this and doesn't have like that build up, this character
Yeah.
set up, and then it goes into
I
the
thought there
story.
was going to be a lot more stalking and Valentine's Day cards,
yeah,
and there really wasn't. There's about
It's a lot of speed dating and I don't know,
yeah,
weird.
He gets
creepy
right into the
neighbors.
kills, and
Yeah.
it's like
It's weird.
I feel like if he planned to do this for 13 years, right?
Yeah,
He would have some kind of like plot where it's like I'm gonna basically torture them until I kill them. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just like, I'm just going to kill him straight. It's if I see him, I'm just going to kill him.
Also, and then
Like, I feel like that's what he does.
Well, it's like killing them and then killing other people as well for
random
reason.
people. I'm like, you're gonna
like the jealous ex-girlfriend
that is not needed in this movie.
And then she has probably the longest chase and death scene.
She has the worst death, I think, of anybody.
It is the worst, yeah. But it's just like I've seen this character once in the movie, and now she's getting like the longest like.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Or the maid or the cop. Like,
yeah.
The best part of this movie, or what could have been the best part of this movie, is that story about Campbell using Dorothy to get money, and then the ex shows up and says, "Don't trust him." That was like a story that could have been totally evolved.
They were definitely doing something.
Good red herring story.
Awesome story. Expand on that some more, and then don't show me the ex-girlfriend pop up trying to convince Dorothy that he's using her once he's already dead.
Yeah,
because we know he's not part of it anymore. So why do I care?
Could have gotten rid of the jealous ex-lover and like a couple other people.
I feel like honestly, it needed to be expanded.
Yeah,
I could have used like 4 backstories on just like creepy dudes, and then try to figure out like red herrings, like try to figure out which one's which.
Yeah, you create all these different subplots, and then you kind of try to piece them together to figure out how the entire mystery is occurring.
Yeah, like the fact that the like her next door neighbor, the really weird guy that starts dressing in her clothes.
Yeah.
He's real random. And it's like, why didn't they like expand on him? He could like they leave him to be creepy.
It's so they can create a death.
So they can create a death, and they make him seem like, oh, he's a stalker, therefore he's stalking all these girls. Blah,
but
blah.
It's quick. I mean, he's got 2 scenes where it's like they show him, and then the next scene they show him, he gets killed.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, that was
there's no development.
What a waste of red herring.
Yeah. I will say Heigl does. Everybody gets a Valentine's Day card that are written pretty dark. I was gonna type them all out, and I was like, I'll find them online later. Could not find them anywhere.
So on that Valentine fan site?
On Zynga.
Zynga.
So just use your imagination of a scary Valentine's Day card. So Heigl walks around, finds nobody. She goes back to cut into the body, and then she hears another noise, and it's the body she was getting ready to cut.
This is risky.
Okay, I'm getting there. So the body she's getting ready to cut is in the closet, falls out, she gets scared, and then the body that was on the table is gone. So that was the killer.
Yeah.
So the killer's plan was, I'm going to make a noise, she's going to look for me, I'm going to get naked, lay on this table. Hopefully she doesn't cut into my stomach. Hopefully that body hits the door before she cuts me. Body falls, I get up naked, run out of the room, get dressed really quick, and then hopefully she comes to find me.
Yeah.
That was his entire plan.
Or if it fell through, it would be like, hey, I killed my friend's boyfriend on a table because he switched out the cadaver. I don't know, like, what the story is. You know what I mean? Like,
it was a mistake. I wasn't looking. I heard a noise, and then I came back, and for some reason he was laying on the table.
For some reason, he switched out this other person's body.
They're both naked. He's trying to lift up the other naked bodies. And come on.
He put his clothes on the naked body, and now I'm naked.
It was my best friend's boyfriend, so that's weird. I don't know why he was here. Like,
it's a lot of work.
Either way, he's dead for some reason. I have no idea why.
Like Valentine. Boom. Boom.
Well, so I want your opinion on this. So all of a sudden the killer shows up. It's this guy who's dressed up in a big black trench coat, black gloves, and a Cupid mask. What do you think? I'm going to ruin it for you after you tell me what you think of it.
Okay.
What do you think of this look?
It's okay. It's very... it's like Urban Legend. This is like Scream.
Yeah.
It's like...
the gimmick.
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
It's like give him like something black to wear.
I think
you know
this
what I mean?
is better...
And then accentuate like the mask or face. Or,
yeah. I would say it's better than Urban Legend, because Urban Legend is just a coat.
It's
a covers his face.
Coat,
it's a parka.
And I can't remember.
That's all it is. It just covers his face.
I thought for some reason I had thought they had a mask. Maybe that's in Urban Legend 2, the final cut.
The fencing mask?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, he does have a... Now, that's not an actual Urban Legend movie, right? Wasn't it something else and it became an Urban Legend 2?
No, Urban Legend 2 is Urban Legend 2.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of American Psycho 2.
No, there is an Urban Legend 3, but it's like the Legend of Bloody Mary, and it's like a supernatural...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like killer movie.
Stay tuned.
No, absolutely
hey, I was going to say nope.
Absolutely not.
So, as soon as this mask popped up on the screen, in my head, I was like, oh, I kind of like this costume. And then my girl goes, Trump? And I was like, yeah, this Cupid mask kind of looks like a Trump mask.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that's all I saw for the rest of the movie was a Donald Trump mask. So Heigl gets chased by this killer, and she hides into another room where there's a bunch of bodies and body bags. And her idea is to hide in a bag. So the killer walks around and starts stabbing bags, and I'm still waiting for this to be a gag or some kind of joke.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then she gets her... So all the kill... I don't know if there's a different cut of this. not a lot of gore in this movie.
No.
Everything is off camera.
Dude, that's what I was saying. Like the random girl at the end who gets it in the shower.
Yeah.
She
That one's-
like has the most brutal death
There's like
of
a
all of them.
puddle of blood and everything.
Yeah, and I was like that one was like, oh, this one's.
That one was pretty brutal.
But yeah, not very violent.
Well, yeah. So Heigl gets her throat slashed in the bag, and then the killer just zips up the bag, walks away
And then the blood's just dripping through like a...
through the tube in the table.
I guess.
Like
So-
I don't mean to be graphic. I don't mean
Are you
to
gonna
be
start
graphic.
cussing? Is this what gonna?
No.
You get really
But
dirty.
Looking
What
at
the
like
fudge?
this serial killer's 13-year vendetta,
Yeah.
like you would think like he would go like ape shit on all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to just being like he just stabs Katherine Heigl once and he's like, all right,
No, he slit her throat.
Yeah, he slit her throat.
oh, he
Yeah.
slits her. Yeah, but okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like the deaths are so just quick, and he's like, all right, that's it.
Like for your vengeance, you know? It's really just like, okay, you're dead.
You've obviously been building up a 13-year grudge. Like you think it'd be like, I am gonna like plot this out,
I'm
and
gonna
then
kill the
it's gonna
shit
be
out of these people because
Yeah.
I'm super pissed.
like basically the way
Because
Jason
they pulled my
is.
pants down in the 6th grade.
Yeah, the way Jason.
Do you guys
is, though,
remember
he kills
anything from
people,
6th
like,
grade?
worse.
I remember nothing from 6th grade that would be like.
Remember
yeah.
Pokemon?
Okay, well that's okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I remember stuff from.
Yeah, I
6th
remember
grade.
Pokemon. Yeah, I like Predator too.
I like Predator.
But yeah, so I think the whole thing is Katherine Heigl supposed to be this Drew Barrymore from Scream character, where you're like, oh man, they killed her off. But like with Drew Barrymore,
She was
was already,
a
like, a
child
known
actor.
actress.
Yeah, she had
But-
10 years of like movies.
you from the 10 minutes you spent with Drew
15.
Barrymore.
Oh
you,
no,
you
they
like
killed the
her.
girl from Roswell. No.
You like Drew Barrymore from the get go, and then when it happens, like, oh man, that's insane. With the Katherine Heigl thing, I felt nothing because
Because they're shitheads in the beginning.
yeah, exactly.
I feel
There
nothing
is-
about any of these people.
There's
I
a
know.
literal formula that they just kind of ripped from. Like this is one of those movies that just, like, and that's what I'm talking about. It fell in like the storm of like similar movies, and there's a formula,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, this worked in this movie, this worked in this movie. Let's just bring all
Previous
that into this
trauma, what happens to them in the present is pretty much
that's
the
all it
formula.
is.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so now at this point, there's 4 girls left because it gets messy. So we cut to 2 other friends, Denise Richards and Marley, and they're at this like speed dating thing. Not really funny. I'm not.
It could have been funny.
You could have done a 40-year-old virgin take
Gina.
on it.
This is
Gina.
honestly,
You have
this
really
is-
soft facial features
This is more direct. This movie's more directed.
towards women.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. This whole
I think
movie is
so.
about women trying to find love.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's all
but
they
I
talk
feel
about.
like 3 guys like this isn't funny to us, but this could be funny to
Yeah.
a woman podcast on horror movies that are like, oh, this is funny. Like I've
But
had
it's
these
not. It
dating
makes
experiences.
men look stupid.
But I know, but it's like I've had these dating
we are pretty
experiences
dumb, but-
before.
But no, but like the whole scene at the beginning with like,
So it's
we
just not-
split the bill, and then this one, all these guys are like dumb.
You didn't laugh?
And
Football. I like football.
Dude, but like that's what I'm saying. We're 3 dudes reviewing this, but if it was 3 girls, I'm like
I
they could probably
highly
find
doubt there are 3 girls who are like, this movie's hysterical.
no,
Can
not
I have a glass
hysterical,
of wine and
but
drink
I'm
some?
saying,
or
like,
watch Valentine?
Drink some Valentine.
Drink some Valentines?
they could probably like find humor in it and be like, oh, I've met that guy before.
Maybe.
At a speed
That's
dating.
fair.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true. Yeah.
I'll
I
give
think
you
it's just, it's just kind of caricatures of people they've seen and,
That's why I've always wanted to see, and I've never seen it before, like a slasher film where the focus of victims is men. You know what I mean? Where it's like I've never been scared in a slasher film. Like I would like to see what a scary
That's
slasher
fair.
film for men would be.
Okay.
I brought this up before in the podcast. I can't think of a single
I
one.
vaguely
a
remember,
scary slasher for men. That's actually maybe kind of like an American.
Dog soldiers.
Not saying that
Oh,
like
yeah.
men are workaholics or anything like that, but I would kind of say like American Psycho because it's all like male characters for the most part. And
What?
He
What do you
kills.
mean?
He kills
Like,
2
no, I'm
prostitutes.
talking
Like
about
name-
like
yeah,
no. The majority of the body count in the movie is men.
yeah.
In American Psycho, he
No.
kills one dude in American Psycho.
Does
kills
he?
Paul.
He kills Paul, and then he
Yeah.
shoots that cop, and then he kills the hobo.
That's
And he kills
3.
the elderly lobby.
Oh, sorry, I thought
Yeah.
that was the cop. Never
Oh,
mind.
maybe it was. Yeah, where he goes
Where
around
he goes
the
around
revolving door.
the,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty. The
He kills 2
revolving
people in
door.
that scene because he kills one, realizes another person, and comes back around and kills another person, and then
Yeah.
goes back out,
So
and then
stupid.
kills the grandma with the dog, and then
I have not seen that movie in so long. Yeah.
But no, like
Predator.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Predator. Would be,
I
yeah.
really like Predator, and I really like The Thing. Like The Thing creeps me out
Yeah,
because it's
Because
like
you hate snow.
I hate snow.
Dude,
I hate
it's-
the cold.
Yeah,
But like it's a majority. It's men. There's not a single girl in the movie, and it's like it's all these tough
There is.
men, and they all get picked
Oh,
off.
on the thing, yeah.
yeah.
You know, I was thinking Predator. Yeah, and they're both similar like that, where it's like these like. Well, Predator more so because I feel like
macho men.
It's a bunch of macho men, and you think like, oh man, they can't be destroyed, and they do.
Yeah,
and I think that's what works. I'm just talking about like a slasher film.
I think that's a really good question.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how that story played out.
Sure,
and make it scary for us.
Ooh. So this next scene is okay. So you get the Katherine Heigl funeral. All the friends are there and everything, and no one is really that upset because no one has emotions in this movie. Because they meet up and they're like, oh man, I can't believe she's gone.
Oh my god, I'm so glad I'm friends with you.
Dude,
we've known each other for our entire lives.
Yeah, well they go, man, I can't believe she's gone. Like, yeah. And David Boreanaz like, what about us, man? What are we doing?
I haven't seen her in 2 years.
I haven't seen her, yeah. Their emotions are horrible. Like, no one's crying at this funeral, and then all of a sudden, David Boreanaz comes out of nowhere, and he's like, what's going on with us? We can get back? And she's like, I don't know. And it's just like, you're at a funeral, man.
Yeah.
Why is no one, like, tearing up? And, like, it's really...
Yeah, I hear you.
People in this movie are just reading lines.
They're robots. They're pretty much just robots in this movie.
And I rarely say that about movies. But we do find out that David Boreanaz... We'll just say David for the rest of the podcast.
Angel. Just call him Angel.
Angel's... his characteristic is that he's an alcoholic.
Cool.
And that
characteristic.
His red herring is that he drinks too much.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Drink too much.
What?
Man.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm sorry that I drink too much.
That's what he says when he's drunk.
Too much.
That's like Michael McDonald or something.
Yeah, that was. It can't be him. He has an addiction. That's true. So we do meet him, and he's like got this like bottle of like whiskey or tequila sitting on this front seat.
It's for a friend, I swear.
Like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Like, what if they give him like a porn addiction? He's like, that's for a friend.
Yeah.
Like his trunk opens up and like a blow up doll like flies out across the graveyard, like it's just bouncing like a balloon.
It's him trying to catch it, like
it's for a friend. He's like telling everybody at the funeral, it's for a friend.
It's for a friend.
I think it's my boyfriend with the porn addiction. He's the killer.
It can't be. He has a porn addiction. So yeah, we meet all the friends. The detective shows up. The detective's just another character. I wouldn't.
He actually turns out to be a creepy detective later on in the movie.
Yeah, because in this movie, men are stupid. Matt's got something.
Like,
Matt, go
all
ahead.
This porn stuff now. It's like, I imagine he's sitting there talking to Marley Shelton. And he's like on the hill of the cemetery, and he goes to get his keys out of his pocket. All his anal beads just falling on the ground.
Oh my god!
He's like chasing them down like marbles. Like he's like, oh
come
god,
on.
They're for a friend.
It's like Princess Bride. It's for a friend.
Dude, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. There's a movie. I can't remember. It's
Does
Jeremy
it involve
Piven.
anal beads?
Yeah, it's Jeremy Piven.
He throws a bunch of jacks down to like act like something else. He's like,
I thought it was my Pog Slammers.
like
he's playing Snake Eyes in the alleyway, and he throws up
jacks and marbles. Anybody want to play? Anybody? Post funeral game.
There is a movie with Jeremy. You done?
Good cover, Bones.
Okay. There is a movie with Jeremy Piven called not the Good Stuff. Whatever. He's a car salesman.
Okay.
And they talk about this. It's a story about the guy who used to run or something. And like, yeah, and he died. And they're like, oh, what happened? So they tell the story, and it cuts, and it's Will Ferrell, and he's only in this movie for like a minute.
Okay.
And I guess to promote the car dealership, he was like, I'm going to jump out of a plane.
I know what you're
dressed as Abraham Lincoln. And for some reason, he goes to pull the parachute, and when he pulls it, it's filled with dildos.
What?
And there's dildos flying throughout the air. And Will Ferrell's screaming. He's like, oh no. He's like, I'm going to die. And he's like, maybe the dildos will cushion my fall. So he grabs a dildo and tries to put it in front of him so like it'll cushion the fall. And he just lands and dies. And that's the entire scene of the movie.
Wow.
This was written down on paper at one point as
and
an
people
idea.
in the writing room were just like, genius.
It's actually really funny.
Well, we just laughed at it because we just made our own version of it. So it's like it's basically our screenplay.
That's so true.
Like it's somebody doing a podcast and you're like, yeah, and he puts it in his pocket.
It's because we didn't come up with it.
Yeah.
So we get another Valentine.
It's called getting baked in writing.
Yeah, that's true.
Is what it is.
So that we get another Valentine in the movie, and this is for Dorothy. Dorothy should have been the main character of this movie. Dorothy has the most.
Yes.
So Dorothy is like this.
It's her
rich
revenge
woman.
story, or it's she's the primary. I feel like target, if you will, of this revenge because she like wanting to go dance with the kid.
Yeah.
And then basically turn on him. So
Yeah,
it's like
it's
she
her
should
story,
be the focus.
and she's got the most story because she does
actually.
her father's rich, and they have this huge house.
Yeah.
And she has a maid. She has a stepmom who's like 30 years younger than her dad.
Yeah.
And they get into a whole fight. And you got Campbell who shows up and asks for a room after they've been
That's
dating.
so true.
And so you got a lot of story with Dorothy.
Which I thought this was Billy Campbell from Bram Stoker's Dracula and Rocketeer. At first, was like he looks really young.
This is the Van Wilder.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. That's what at first I thought that's who it was. I was like, but that wouldn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he looks younger than he does in Rocketeer. Rocketeer's like
Yeah.
what, 92?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we get her whole setup with that. And then we have probably the worst scene of the movie. So we have Marley taking a shower, and all of a sudden her water goes out.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So
this
in
is
my
gnarly.
head, I go, I've seen enough movies to know that she's going to use the back of the toilet.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I've seen that in stuff before. Like, just use the back of the
I've
toilet.
never seen that before,
I've seen it in a movie or two.
Zach and Murray make a porno.
It is,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. And so I'm like, yep, here she goes. And no, to clean out the shampoo from her hair, she puts her hair in the actual
That
toilet.
is wretched.
That's
That is.
doesn't make any sense.
I thought she was gonna die at this part in the movie.
Oh,
Like, I thought
really?
this was gonna be her death scene. Was that like she's gonna die from just a sickness? Like,
Yeah. This dysentery.
Like too much pink eye.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
An overabundance of pink eye.
I can't see.
I can't.
stupid shower.
My eyes are so.
I was thinking about this scene in this movie, and as I was watching, I was like, what would I do?
Matt's
And I was
rubbing,
like,
Matt's rubbing his chin for the audience as he's
And I'm
thinking
like,
about this.
there's gotta be some liquid in that fridge that is better than putting your hair in the toilet.
Well, I agree. Maybe she can be like pull out some I don't know, some Sunny
I'd rather
D.
have Sunny D or milk in my hair than like toilet
Oh, for
water.
Could you
sure.
imagine if you put milk in your hair and then you walked out and it was like a nice sunny day and like
You
imagine-
smell wretched.
Ma'am, you smell like shit.
Do you put your head in a toilet? So, and this is another weird scene. So, she's in a towel. She gets a phone call. And then she ends up going out in the hallway. And she sees the Cupid mask stuck in the elevator from the door. Like, it's keeping the door from shutting.
Yeah.
And the neighbor down the hall opens his door. It's Spider from Power Man 5000.
Oh my god, yeah.
And
His hair is outrageous in
Yes.
this movie.
Question.
yes.
Why is the killer stalking her? Like,
Because
isn't his whole-
she was the one
That was gonna dance with her.
Yeah, but isn't his whole end game is to basically bump off all the girls and get with her? Like,
Yeah.
why would he stalk her? What's the point of stalking her?
That's a good.
especially if
good
he's already with her.
Yeah, he's already with her.
You
He's
won,
already
dude.
won.
Dude, you've already won. Just go kill all the friends.
Like, that's what. Like, I think that's what ruins this movie for me.
I
It's
just
like his
realized
plot
that.
doesn't make any sense.
no.
That
like,
doesn't.
what?
no.
He's gonna kill all of her friends 13 years later. He's not gonna kill her. He wanted to get with her. He's always loved her. Is
Yeah.
what he constantly says throughout the movie,
Yeah.
right? And like, but he's like stalking her in the mask and stuff. And it's like, why? Like, he wanted to get with her.
He's you won, dude. Move on.
Yeah.
Wow,
And-
I didn't realize that until
boom
right now.
Sip shank.
Ship Shank.
Ship shank.
Shank.
Ship Shank Redemption.
No, like I like shot so many holes in that ship, it sank, dude. It's
Yeah,
gone.
it's
It is at the
obliterated.
bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, wasted.
So we do meet her creepy neighbor who's just there for an excuse to kill later on in the movie.
Sure.
I think he's only in it for like 2 scenes. But so this is so dumb. So she sees the mask and she gets creeped out. And then for the next like 15 minutes of this movie, every time she's with one of the friends, she's telling the story again. She's like, yeah, and this mask was keeping the elevator from shutting. And you hear the story like 4 times in this movie. One, it's not that big of a deal.
Dude,
No.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not even know this happened in this part in this movie. I think I must have
The
just
elevator?
zoned out
Yeah.
with the mask. And then I don't even, I think I just started zoning out the dialogue. I remember hearing it, but like...
She says
I
it
was
like 4
They
times.
do mention it a lot of times.
And
I
it
just
feels
spaced
like
it out. I
it
feel
feels like
bad.
when you tell someone a story, like Hanto, if I told you a story, I'm like, hey, I found this mask in an elevator. Okay,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's weird.
And then Matt shows up, and Hanto's still here. And I'm like, dude, I gotta tell you a story. I found this mask in an elevator. Like, that's cool. And then somebody else shows up, and Hanto is still here. And I'm like, I gotta tell you this story. Like, yeah, I got it, dude. I've heard this story like 5 times. She
Yeah.
found a mask in an elevator shaft.
Dude,
but-
get over it.
Move on.
Get off the phone.
So then we cut to Richards and the girl that
She's like the
she's we'll call her White Chicks because she's the one from White Chicks.
she's
Yeah.
basically the second friend at the art gallery.
Yeah.
That gets okay.
So Richards and White Chicks are watching dating tapes.
Wow.
And man, dating tapes are so dated.
I
Pun
super
intended.
dated.
did not even realize what was going on here because it's so obsolete now.
Yeah, I was like, what was this, like a thing for a month?
Because they interview, right? They like send it. It's like almost like an interview, and they
I
send it
guess.
out to girls.
It was like it was. Do you remember on Mad TV when they used to have it was called Lower Expectations?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's what that was. It was like
Was it
video
really?
dating. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
I
and
vaguely remember that.
there's other movies where they do some kind of like video dating thing. I can't think what it
I
is.
can't
It seems
remember.
like so much work.
yeah,
much
imagine the
work.
person who has to edit that movie or whatever
Gosh.
the interview.
Yeah.
And then like they have to put it on the VHS, make copies of it, send it out to different people, mailing.
Me and Hunter did videography for a while, and I can't imagine if this was a job that I would have to do, like, is like videos, like
But
for
it's-
people and be like, hey, can you edit my video?
Yeah.
And taking money from them and be like, this is stupid.
Well,
Yeah.
what's weird is so
Are you sure it's even gonna work?
by the time you filmed it, send it to the company, and they shipped it out, that could be 2 weeks. You could already find the girl of your dreams, and then they're like, "I like him." Like, "Oh, sorry, I'm taken." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Man,
It's like pre Tinder, very
it's a
pre-Tinder.
live
It's
Tinder
like-
profile, pretty
Yeah,
much."
pretty much.
So yeah, they're watching these dating videos, and then some chocolates show up at the door, and they don't know who it's from. It just says JM, and White Chicks goes to bite into one of the chocolates,
Yeah.
and there's all these maggots in it.
Which
And
how they
a lot
I
of
guess
work, man.
It's a very, very intricate plan of making chocolate.
So the killer-
candies.
This killer is so, like, it's so weird. He's like either super motivated to do something. Like, I can't imagine the time and effort it went into to make these chocolates.
Yeah, he's
Right?
he's making a day out of it too.
But like,
Oh, maybe he has a maggot guy.
yeah, maybe he's got a bug guy.
Yeah.
But like the way he just kind of like goes after certain people is just kind of like, it seems so lazy and so like
And like,
unmotivated.
yeah, how do you plan your day around like stalking and then driving across town to go stalk another person and then going back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting the mask in the elevator at the right time.
It's a lot of like work.
Yeah, you
Like,
have to figure out people's schedules and everything. There's a whole lot of planning to this.
I feel like this movie should have been like a heavy on stalking movie.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just not. It's like these little like quick moments of just like, meh.
I mean, it would have helped, I guess, instead of having like the stupid ending where he's hugging her and then has a bloody nose.
Yeah.
They had to do something where she finds like his secret hideout and has like the pictures on the wall, and some sort of
Yeah.
like shrine or whatever.
Yeah.
There's just
some kind of obsession going
a
on.
whole lot of nothing going on. It's just
Which
him like
I will say I'm glad you brought that up. I do like his character. So when the Jeremy, when he's younger, gets a bloody nose.
they
he's
just
got
show
the
it
dance.
off. Yeah, they show kind of.
And then every time the killer kills someone, you see a bloody nose coming through the mask.
Yeah.
That way
So that's
you
kind of his
know it's him.
characteristic. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something subtle, but I'll
Yeah.
go with it.
I mean, it's better than like farting blood. You know what I mean? that,
Oh my god!
that'd be a weird character.
We thought it. You said it, man. So-
like, just inappropriately after every kill scene, just real quiet. That's how the credits roll at the end of the movie.
Sorry. Now we're a farting podcast.
I think that's the most immature joke I've ever made. On
this
this
might
podcast.
be the most immature podcast.
We've resorted to fart sounds on this episode.
Dude,
Dude, you gotta stop wearing khakis, bro. It's a dead giveaway, Jeremy.
we
Oh,
know,
no.
Jeremy. We know it's you.
Dude, we only believe that I sat in pie stories so many times.
I said. I swear it was pie on my seat.
Jeremy, you're the most unlucky guy in the road. You always sit in these pies.
He sat in pie on the bus. He sat on the bleachers. He
I
sat
can imagine Marley Shelton's like, hey, we're gonna go out to this spicy food restaurant tonight. You wanna go? He's like, sure. He's wearing his white pants.
It's like obviously Along Came Polly. Is that the movie?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like, can I use the bathroom, please?
I should have not worn my Colonel Sanders suit tonight.
I should not. I should not have worn these saran wrap pants.
Oh my god.
He's chasing people. Wow. If you're still with us,
We are children.
we are kids reviewing a movie.
This is We're like 140 episodes in, and this is probably.
It's definitely like, we're definitely like have the humor of 8th graders right now.
I literally thought saying that, I was like, man, I'm going to be the black sheep of this podcast.
Oh, you totally are, bro.
But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you guys
Well, yeah,
joined in.
yeah.
That was like 10
no,
minutes of fart
I feel
jokes.
like I just set up the scene, and then in Matt's head, it's like calculating, and
Yeah.
then
It's like that Hangover, the math
is.
equations.
Yeah. And you talked about the Jeremy Piven movie. What is it called? Is it the
I know what you're talking about.
It's like,
it has
the
like
good,
Ken,
it's called The Good Stuff.
it has
No,
Ken
maybe it
Jeong.
is the good stuff.
It has like Ken Jeong in it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's got.
So-
It was kind of randomly out. It was just kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, this is
Raunchy car dealership movie.
Yeah.
But I dare you to find a funnier scene in the movie than Will Ferrell dressed as Abraham Lincoln floating in the air with dildos.
Yes, I can find one. I like how now you admit it's funny. You're like,
I said it was funny
You know,
from the
you didn't say
get-go.
that was funny before. You just kind of just told us it
So Valentine.
as an unbiased incident.
So they go to this art gallery thing, and this is when Heigl's date shows up. And it's weird because
Don't remember him.
I don't know if it's Heigl's date because this guy looks. At one point, Denise Richards
He does. He says Jason. It's him. I thought.
It's me, Marquette.
Yeah.
So they are all at this art gallery because White Chicks is dating a guy who runs the art gallery. Who's the guy from Empire Records.
Yeah.
And
He's the one that's like calling her sweetness. Is that's the Empire Records guy, right?
the guy with the goatee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get these guys. I got the guy mixed up. I don't really know who's who.
Exactly, and that's the problem with this movie. So I guess the art gallery is like a Valentine's Day art gallery.
Of course it is.
And the guy running it's like, all right, girls on the left, guys on the right, go to this art gallery. So we haven't even touched on the soundtrack yet. We cue Deftones.
Oh yeah. There's some good bands on here.
There's some good songs on here.
There's
There's
a fun orgy song at the end.
it's actually there's
Orgy.
There's
Yeah.
a really good orgy song. I actually
Yeah, I was
really
like,
like
I
that
remember.
song.
I was like, I want to look this up on Spotify. This is a cool song.
Octagon or Octagon.
They have their Blue Monday.
Yeah, their Blue Monday cover.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, they had a
pretty
few good songs, but yeah, Disturbed's on there.
Yeah, I heard
Deftones.
Disturbed for sure. Yeah,
But
I heard
this-
that. I heard that. Ooh,
Yeah, okay, that was the weirdest one. We're gonna talk about the soundtrack now. They're throwing like a party, and that people are legitimately like dancing. To,
I
like,
thought the
Disturbed.
same
And I was
thing.
like, they played Disturbed at like parties for like the general
Yeah,
public.
I feel like
That music. I mean, you forget at one point,
new metal.
like some of the top music in the world was like Korn and Limp Bizkit and
But
I just
feel
can't
like-
imagine
but I feel
everyone
like
like
Crazy Town.
But I feel
dancing
like-
a
I
freaking
feel like-
Unleashed Crazy Town.
But I feel like if they're gonna be dancing, you gotta have like the right clothing and people wearing like Janko jeans and like industrial, chains, and
just like
stuff.
a lot of swaying.
Yeah, exactly.
lot of swaying.
Swaying, arms
Yeah.
to the sides,
Yeah,
How does it feel?
a lot of swaying. Yeah.
But I actually do like this scene because the Deftones cue in and they're going through this art gallery and it's like this is a cool little.
Yeah.
I like the way this is set up. So they're going around and they got all these like videos and images of people just saying things to whoever's walking through.
Valentine.
And yeah, that's what they're all saying. And the art dealer, this is a weird scene. So the art dealer or whatever,
Yeah.
the art guy goes over to White Chick's girl and they start kind of making out. And then all of a sudden in the distance, this girl turns the corner and she starts taking off her blouse.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, what's going on? This is really weird,
Yeah.
yet surprisingly hot.
I thought I was like, I don't remember this scene.
I definitely don't remember this.
It's a really bizarre scene. And then White Chicks looks over and she's like, who's that? And he's like, oh, that's
my-
Sebastian. And he's like, I want her to join. And or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Why are you telling us all this?
Because it's a really weird scene.
It is very weird.
It doesn't fit this
It's
movie.
very random.
It's
It is
bizarre.
Do we ever
So-
see this guy again, the art guy?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
shows up to the damn party at the end.
What the fuck?
It doesn't make it.
What are
and
who are
not
these people?
He's not a red herring.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like-
it's like at the end he shows up and you're like, "Hey, have you seen White Chicks?" And he's like, "I can't find her."
It's basically just to show you that every person that they create as red herrings actually do have alibis, pretty much. Like
I feel like every red herring they come up with doesn't have a
it's
motivation
all
to kill.
from the very beginning. It's all pointing that David Boreanaz is the guy.
yes.
Like,
Oh,
here's,
totally.
here's another guy, but it's David Boreanaz.
They don't
Just
show
wanna let
him
you
very
know.
much.
I just want to let you know there's other people in this movie, but it's David Boreanaz.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, even at this point, he's doing Angel.
Yeah.
So it's like he's a star, and it's
Yeah.
like he's not in this movie very
He's
much.
second.
so
I
you're
think he's
like-
second build. It's Denise Richards, David Boreanaz, and then it's Marley Shelton.
He's second build, yeah, and like it's very obvious. It's like okay,
Yeah.
That's really only. I think it's his only real big movie credit. I mean,
Yeah, I
other
don't
than
remember.
that,
I don't remember him.
I
being
couldn't tell you
anything.
anything
Yeah.
that he's been in.
No.
We'll come back to that though. So this is probably maybe the dumbest part of the movie
It's pretty. Dumb.
because all of a sudden White Chicks is walking. I think her name's Lily. Now that I actually say
It is. Yeah, I think it is.
But I'm gonna stick with White Chicks.
Okay.
So White Chicks walks around the art gallery, and all of a sudden, no one's there. The art gallery is empty.
I don't under. Yeah, they do this at
And
the party at the end. They do it with like all kinds of
it's-
stuff where it's like,
Yeah, and it's like, where did everybody go? So she turns a corner, and all of a sudden, there's a guy, the killer, with a Cupid mask and a bow and arrow. I want to know how this guy got into the exhibit with a bow and arrow.
Or the party.
He had to check it through customs? Was that what it was? They're like, I always bring... Was it like Weatherman? When,
What are you talking about right now?
Do you have
customs? What?
Oh, no, like customs at the art gallery party.
Dude,
I don't think they have customs at the art gallery.
That's not a
I think
thing?
it's pretty easy to get into this art gallery with this.
Yeah.
With a bow and arrow?
You just wear your trench coat with the mask underneath your coat,
Dude.
and then you walk in, like a regular dude.
Yeah.
And you put the mask on when everyone's gone.
Yeah, I can
After
get in.
closing
I can
hours.
get into anywhere with a bow and arrow, man. I got a bow and arrow guy.
Really?
Yeah. Tiny ones.
He's
Just
really
tiny
close
bows.
with my maggots guy.
Yeah, my bug guy.
Do you not remember that movie with Nicolas Cage, Weatherman?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I
Where
don't know what
he's
you're
like,
talking
like,
about.
people used to pick on me, but now I carry a bow and arrow, and it shows him like walking.
Oh,
down the street.
there is the main poster is him walking with the bow and arrow.
And it's great.
it all
it's
makes
awesome.
sense now.
This is the only death in the movie that I like. But
Dude, are
I
you
also,
serious?
Okay, I
I
liked
say
it.
this is pretty good.
I liked it up to a certain point.
With the conveniently placed trash can at the
Yes.
bottom of
It's very clean.
the inside the building.
Because I was like, oh man, death by bow and arrow, that would suck. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is kind of like tying in with the Cupid thing, the Valentine's Day thing, which by the way, Valentine's Day doesn't really tie in very well in this movie.
No. Other than
The whole
that,
movie's about love.
Like, My
yeah,
Bloody
the-
Valentine does an awesome job tying
Yeah.
the holiday into the movie.
yeah, it's a theme. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but this one, there's times I forgot that it was Valentine's Day.
I
or
only
around
remember
Valentine's
because of the title of the movie.
Day. Yeah, and then I forgot what I was watching.
so
But like this death is really goofy because she gets shot with she gets shot with a bow and arrow, which I was like, man, he should have killed everybody off like this.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
she-
that should be his weapon of choice.
Yeah.
Is just the bow and arrows.
Which would be like Jason's machete, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I'll give you that.
I think instead of carrying around a butcher's knife, I feel like a butcher's knife would be awkward to carry around, you know?
You don't have like a sheath, like a
Yeah,
belt.
nobody makes a sheath for butcher knives, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, but yeah, bow and arrow would be more convenient to carry
yes,
around.
absolutely. Anyways,
No, it's so goofy because she gets shot in the stomach,
yeah.
and then she gets shot again.
and then she flies through.
Then she hits like the railing of an alleyway ladder.
It's a staircase.
It's a stairwell.
It's a
inside
stairwell.
Yeah.
Outside, and then she gets hit again with another arrow, and the force pushes her over and breaks the wood off the
Yeah.
stairwell, which I don't think the force.
No.
And she falls to a dumpster and it closes. And I found it comedic because I thought of
I think I know what you're gonna say.
are you we're the Millers?
Oh no,
What?
no.
There's a scene
Dude,
where the
you
Millers
throwing out these movies today.
and
are
where the
very-
Millers he goes to escape and he goes to jump into the trash can, and as he jumps he throws his bag and the bag closes the trash can before he can land in it, and he just lands on top of the trash
Gotcha.
can.
I was gonna say it's just like speaking of Jason, it's like Jason Takes Manhattan where Julius gets his head punched into the
It
Oh,
is. It's
yeah.
like-
just
Good call.
conveniently placed trash can that closes right when it.
Because like her body falls there, and like it's just like the cleanest kill. And
And
then
do
for the
they-
rest of the movie, they're looking for her. They're like, "Where is she?"
They
I'm
never
like,
find her.
No.
Well, actually, there was another body in the trash can, and it was the one that Morris Day had thrown into the trash can in Purple Rain. Do you remember that?
Whoa, I don't remember
Dude,
this.
what is going on?
Do you not
with
remember that
today?
scene?
I don't
Do you remember
remember.
the scene?
Like these
Do you
are
remember-
so
No, no.
specific.
In Purple Rain, Morris and Jerome are walking down the street, and the girl comes over and she's like, "Morris Day, blah blah blah," and she starts like
Did he
yelling
like
at
pick
him.
her up and like,
And then Jerome picks her up and he throws her in the dumpster, and the thing is
I
closed.
guess I remember that.
It's a really random
previous
scene.
dude,
previous
between
episode
that-
on
That was like
Cinema
100 episodes ago.
Between that, the Jeremy Piven movie, the Weatherman
the
movie.
goods. It's called the goods.
The
It is
goods.
Goods,
Yeah. The goods, the Weatherman movie. And then there was another one in there that you're like, I was like, what?
Oh, you can make all these raunchy
The Millers.
jokes. You can make all these raunchy jokes, but then I actually reference movies on a movie podcast, and then they're like,
No,
Sorry,
they're just.
He he references adult movies, but you can reference real movies.
adult movies.
that'll age well in 20 years.
Adult films. The Adult Film Podcast on Cinema Cult Network.
Ooh, shh. After hours.
After Hours with Cinema Cult. That's awesome. We have to do that sometime, guys.
That's already a thing.
It
After
is.
Hours is already a thing.
It is already a thing.
After Hours with Cinema Cult?
No, After Hours.
no.
You guys been doing a podcast
For
and
one of
not tell me about
a
it?
podcast we used to listen to.
Yeah, it's that bad did an After Hours.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
So-
I was paying tribute because they do that after hours.
And they do porn films?
No. It was
that-
just they would just do like
It's
they
just
used to do,
general
like-
talk. General talk.
Yeah, it was like general talk, and they would just do like late episodes about,
Talk
kind
about
of
like
whatever.
what they're just hanging out, like life stories, pretty much. Like
Life stories.
Yeah.
Marley ends up meeting with David at a bar which doesn't make any sense because he's like, I'm not drinking, I promise. And it's like, okay, well, why would you meet at a bar? Like, you're pushing this guy.
Can we meet at the Burger King?
I don't know if he's trying to like put on a show or what, or if he's like actually drinking, or I don't know what his deal
that's like, honestly, that's like if you had a porn addiction and you're like, hey, you want to meet up somewhere? Like, yeah, I'll meet you up at the Hustler store down the street.
Yeah.
And they try to fight this porn addiction. It's like,
but if that's what you want.
we can talk there.
So they get there, and then she brings up the mask again, and he orders a club soda. And that's showing that he's like really pushing for this relationship. And it's just some scene where they end up meeting.
That's how you know when it's serious.
Yeah.
He ordered club soda.
Yeah. Oh, he's trying.
He's gonna propose.
Have you ever had a club soda?
Yeah.
I've never had a club soda before.
Not bad.
It's all right.
What does it taste like?
It's like carbonated water.
Is that all it is? Okay.
It's soda water.
Yeah, soda water.
It's soda water.
Why
So it tastes-
And sometimes they put like a lemon or lime or whatever.
Why is club soda like the go-to choice in movies for when people are trying to like quit drinking?
They don't. I feel like that's the choice when they try to get something out of clothes.
Huh?
When you try to get a stain out.
No, I'm talking about in movies.
You said when trying to get somebody out of their clothes. I thought we were doing more bits or something.
Oh man, this is after hours.
Honto did look at me like, "What are you talking about there, bud?"
Very sexy.
Yeah, that's what you
episode,
order when you're trying to
Hill.
get somebody out of their clothes.
What I do, I'm trying to get all romantic. I have someone come over, I put on the goods, and crack open a bottle.
Jeremy Piven's the goods.
Crack open a bottle of club soda.
Get some wine glasses. Put some clothes soda in it.
Some clothes on.
Some clothes on.
So, you guys didn't answer my question though.
What?
Because in movies, they're always like, if it's like some guy like trying to quit drinking,
Sure.
he's like, I'll take a club soda.
Yeah.
Like it's like his.
What movies?
It's his cranberry juice
I've
from
seen
Departed.
it before. I've seen it like before in movies. It's like their go-to drink. If they're,
Maybe
like,
it's just anything that's wet. They get.
Well, not
Wow.
I'm saying just not like a water
Like a
or
liquid.
something or like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen a club soda thing in anything.
I think I've seen it before.
Maybe we should do a whole episode on club soda.
Yeah, there we go. Or move on.
Yes, maybe the latter.
Or you just move on.
Yes.
So-
The latter.
We have, 3 girls left at this point? Yeah. So all 3 girls meet with the detective. And we have this whole scene. Or no. This isn't the scene yet. I'm sorry. So they meet at the house, and they find out that, it is Jeremy Melton who's sending these things.
And then they have like their their program that has like the facial.
Well, I was going to say before this part,
composite.
this is when they're all meeting at the house.
Okay.
And this is when you find out that Dorothy is the one who made out with Jeremy, which is a cool twist because I didn't know that was her, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. So,
Oh, I definitely wasn't paying attention. Could you explain about this real quick?
wait, no, this is when you find out that Dorothy was the one who made out.
I see. Okay.
So then we have like another scene of like Marley and David getting dinner, and then this is when we meet with at the actual the detective station. Police department. There it is.
Detective station. Get down to the detective station.
So all 3 girls are talking to
I wanna speak to
their
the
commissioner.
commissioner.
That's what I'm saying. The girls are talking to the commissioner, and there's all these like jokes going on. It's not really that funny, and then they pull up a picture of Jeremy and they're like, we can age this picture, and we can show you what he might look like now. So they go through all these things, and then Marley's character is like, do you have any more recent pictures of him? And then the detective's like, if we did, we would have used him. Like,
We'd be looking for him right now.
Yeah.
we would have used that picture.
It's
like,
weird. It's like it's kind of like a dumb, like they give her like a dumb blonde moment right here.
Yeah.
It's a
Where
really
like-
stupid question to
But
ask.
like, yeah, she asked like stupid question, and I was wondering that, and I was like, are they kind of like implying that she's dumb? Like,
Maybe.
I like Marley Shelton. I like the movie she's done. I don't think she should have been the main character in this.
No, absolutely not.
no, I like her a lot. But it's come on, it's a stereotypical like boring main character in a slasher.
Like
film.
I don't think it's
Jennifer
her fault.
Hewitt and
Yeah, like she never does anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like
She's
she's
a
always
wholesome
she's a
girl.
wholesome, nice one. She just hangs out with like
Yeah.
the wrong crowd, and it's like,
Yep. And so during this whole scene, the detective thinks he has some chemistry with Denise Richards, which we find out they don't have any chemistry.
well, he's on
whoa,
the job
man,
right now.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Well, no, I'm just saying like Richards.
Could he be the killer? Maybe.
Richards is kind of like flirting with them, but then when he holds her back to talk to her, she's not interested at all.
Yeah.
Like you said, she has
This
the
is
most
what-
character.
Okay, so this is at this point I was thinking about this movie, and I was like, how could this movie be better, especially if it was made now, in the time of the hashtag Me Too movement?
Okay.
And I was like, why didn't they push more of an angle from this movie as far as like women being afraid of like dating and men?
Sure.
And in like this kind of instance, this situation, why aren't more of these situations in this movie but played out as like kind of like a awkward, scary moment for women? So then all of a sudden it has like a social aspect to it that I feel like is more creditable in this movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think it's because it's a terribly written movie.
Yeah, it's just written like a post-Scream slasher film.
Yeah, they're just trying to do your typical, past trauma.
Yeah.
Group of girls, older, and then they're getting picked off one by one.
You could
I don't
give
think they're
this-
thinking too much about.
You could give this an easy like slash. You could give this an easy like a hashtag Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Kind of tone where it's just like women's interactions with creepy men,
Mm-hmm.
and in that way, at the end, you have all these like red herrings that are running around. You're like, yeah, all these men so far, these women have come across are really creepy. It's like
I think they kind of try to do that.
They definitely try, but they don't do it.
They don't-
You have
they do it jokingly.
They have
jokingly.
Heigl's date who's like, give me a kiss, and then you're kind of
Yeah.
and then you have the detective who's like, I'm gonna put my hand. You're like,
Yeah.
So it's kind of there, but
It's
it's
there,
not.
but it's not strong enough.
I
Like,
agree.
It's,
No.
it's more
Yeah.
of like quirky moments. They laugh it off.
Yeah.
As opposed
Oh,
to
haha,
it being
you
like,
dumb person.
Yeah, as opposed to it being creepy. Like you could easily turn the cop into a red herring.
Yeah.
At a certain point, like just
They should have, yeah.
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 So it's like I don't know. I just think it would be a better written movie.
Yeah.
It'd be more interesting and more. It's
No,
timely.
they totally should have done the red herring, multiple people, who is the killer,
It'd
and
have
then
something to
just-
say too.
instead of having just one guy left at the end, and you're like, okay, it's obviously that person.
Yes.
That's exactly what happened. So our next scene is when the killer breaks. So this doesn't make any sense. Okay, this goes back to your theory. So the killer breaks into Marley's apartment and finds the neighbor in her apartment trying on her
I guess just-
stockings or whatever it is.
Maybe, I guess since it's David Boreanaz, maybe he's just pissed that there's a guy sniffing her.
But why did he go into that room with a mask on? Why did he show up at all?
Why? Okay. There's a lot of questions.
There's no reason for him. He's got.
Why does he show up? He beats the shit out of this guy and kills him with an iron. That is
Yeah.
guaranteed to make a mess.
Oh, for sure. I was waiting for the blood to shoot up. Like
I
on
was
the
waiting
TV
for this guy's body to
like-
show up in this movie.
like close up of the TV screen, then blood shooting on.
Yeah.
it, and then it just
Dude, it's a pretty brutal death. This might
guy
be the
does
most
not-
brutal to me out of all the deaths.
this guy dies.
That's right.
I think so.
David Boreanaz has a ton, or Angel, or we're going to call him because we know it's the killer.
Yeah.
I guess he has a bunch of club soda with him because he was able to clean up.
Yeah.
He's like drinking all
soda.
that club
Got
soda.
some
Here we go.
spritzer. Put a little bit of a spritzer on the.
But
on
he
the
gets
carpet.
rid of all the blood, and like this guy's body never pops up in this whole movie. Not even like
no, it doesn't.
Not even. I was waiting because there's a scene right after she comes home. Denise Richards comes in the house or the apartment with her. They talk, and I was like, okay, she's gonna walk into the bedroom and find the dead body.
Yeah.
She never finds a dead body.
Yeah, I mean
she
they
doesn't,
got to do their typical like Halloween at the end. There's bodies falling from the ceiling.
Yes, they
Yeah,
kind
and
of
falling out of the
I don't
closet.
think they really do that, do they?
No,
They
No,
do.
she-
They
absolutely
do
not.
it for a second.
She finds some of the bodies.
She finds two, three. No,
She finds
them all.
the detective and the jealous ex-girlfriend,
The
and
maid.
Denise Richards. Oh, I guess there's a
She
lot
finds
of people.
4 bodies.
But they should have had like Lily, the white chick's girl.
Yeah.
They should have had
Yeah,
Katherine
she doesn't
Heigl show up somewhere.
Yeah, like what is it, sleepaway camp? They did that. Yeah, they do that in like a lot of them. Where
They
it's
do it
kinda
like it's like your typical slasher trope. It's like
Yeah.
find the bodies all together in one place. You
Well,
know?
it's like it's weird because it's like the movie doesn't know if it wants to be a mystery or just like a slasher film.
jealous or not jealous, but like you're just your typical revenge. Like prom night, they do like I feel like it's like the story of prom night where
Yeah.
something tragic happens.
I got a major prom night vibe watching this movie.
Yeah, so did you just to yourself? So the neighbor gets killed. We see Angel. Actually, there's a line in this movie where they're talking about David's character, and like he could have been the killer, blah blah. And someone's like, "Yeah, he is no angel." And that was supposed to be a joke.
Cool.
So
Nice.
little tie in there,
Dude, you were deep, bro.
deep into Valentine. So Angel and Marley meet and exchange Valentines.
Yeah.
He gives her a sucker. She gives him this piece of paper that says IOU TLC. No scrubs. And then when Marley goes back to her apartment, she almost kills Denise Richards because she's in the room. And you think the killer's going to be there, but not. And everything, like you said, everything is cleaned up.
But not.
I know. I realized as I said, I was like, this is dumb.
You think she's gonna be there, but not.
Nah, psych.
Psych.
And then we cut to Dorothy, who's been kind of absent, and she and Campbell end up making love. And then this whole scene, this doesn't make any sense either. So they make love, and I guess Campbell
Couldn't get it up
couldn't
or
get up.
something.
So she's upset. She goes to take a shower, and they kind of like they
think it's because
exchange
he's-
gifts, and
yeah.
they're like, okay, everything's cool. So he walks away to make a phone call, and then all of a sudden he's this bad guy, and he's like, I just want the money transferred to the account.
Oh, he's been the bad guy since the beginning.
Yeah, they've been kind of hinting at he's only
But
hanging
this
out
is-
with
Like when he
money.
shows up to the house, he's
Everybody
basically-
else hints that he is.
Oh, I totally thought he was a bad dude
Yeah.
in the beginning.
But he shows up, or he's on the phone, and he's like, I'm trying to get the money transferred to this account, blah, blah. Is he taking her money, or is it about
Yeah.
his? It is?
Yeah, because he's basically
No, it's her
He's-
dad. It's her dad's money
Oh, okay.
because he's like yeah, my birth date is 19 something.
I see.
It was an older birthday.
Gotcha.
for
I
sure.
thought he was talking about his mother. Because he,
know.
I don't know, whatever.
I don't know.
It's
He's
a
trying
stupid,
to take the family money.
It's a stupid plot thread that does not belong in this movie.
But it could have been if they would have
They
expanded
try
on
making
it
him
more.
seem like this like con artist, like a swindler.
Yeah.
You know, like I robbed the people's money or whatever.
I robbed the people's money.
I robbed the people. I robbed for the
plot.
people. I am Robin Hood.
I robbed the people's money.
No, because he stole the girl.
Documentaries?
He stole the girl's family jewels, right?
What are you talking about?
What?
anymore?
The girl that shows up that gets
The
killed.
family jewels.
The girl that gets killed in the at the end in the house, like with the glass.
What about her? What are you saying?
She's the one that accuses him of like robbing her shit.
Oh yeah, she comes in later
Yeah,
on.
Yeah, she
when-
gives her
yeah.
he gives her an investment. Investment fell through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the family
So-
jewels.
Yeah, the family jewels.
Not the family that like. I've been in a family before.
Yeah.
We've never owned jewels.
Oh yeah. Who does?
That's weird. I have also been in a family as well.
Do you guys have jewels?
We don't. We have a few Jewel CDs.
Hata, does your family have jewels?
I don't think so.
I know. I was like, where did that come from?
Cool. So he's
No,
down,
just in general, like the history of
I don't know.
the etymology of that phrase. Like,
Yeah,
where did that,
I think
where did
it's
that
just
come from?
I think it's just hand me downs.
So while he's down making the phone call downstairs, whatever, she calls him over the intercom, and she's like, "Hey, you got a second?" And he's like, "Oh my god, yeah, babe, what's up?" And she's like, "Can you light the furnace?" And he's like, so upset about this, like he's like furious.
I feel like for
And-
being like a rich family, like they have to manually like light their furnace and stuff. Or-
As another thing, I don't know.
I don't know.
How often do you light your furnace?
So
They usually have like coal guys that are in the basement.
Oh
and
yeah,
if
yeah.
they're cold-
It was their weekend off, so yeah.
Yeah. No, I honestly, and this is kind of stupid. Like, if somebody asked me to do this,
How
I'm
would
not
you do
sure
it?
how it would, like, I've never lit a pilot light before.
you just light a match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much all it is.
But it was like, I would be kind of like, okay. And then it'd be like,
and then you'll be like scurrying for your phone, looking on YouTube, like how to light pilot light.
match.
don't
how to
embarrass
strike
yourself.
how to strike a match.
Yeah.
Match.com. So he goes to light the furnace, and this is
I'm
where
just
they
saying it's a weird request.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
that's what I meant. It's like it's a weird request.
Club Soda. I got it.
Club soda. Who drinks it?
So they try to make him look like he could be the killer because he's got a temp. I don't know what they're trying to do. Right
It's
here.
weird. It's like they try to make him look like the killer, and then they set him up in a suspenseful killing sequence. Like, you
And
know
it
what I
takes
mean?
way too long.
It's weird. It's like, for a second, I'm like, okay, here's our red herring. And then it's like they put him
But
in a
it-
situation, like, go down to the creepy
and you
basement.
know he's going to die
yeah.
in a second. So you're
And
like,
then-
okay, so it's not him.
Exactly,
So what was
that's
the
what I'm
point
saying.
of in a span of 5 seconds? You're like, he's the killer, and like he's about to die, and you're like, well, that's you should have given that earlier in the movie that he has
Yeah.
his temper.
Your whole-
so I would have kind of thought he could be the killer.
Yeah.
You wasted that. But yeah, he goes to light the furnace, and he like drops the matches, and he stumbles, and then
They
all
do
of a
like
sudden,
they do the shot where it's like there's an axe in the background, and then his he turns,
You
it
know
cuts
he's
back,
gonna get-
the
yeah.
axe is gone. You're like, oh no, not
and he
this
actually
guy.
he does a pretty good reaction because he gets an axe in the back, and he's
Yeah.
like, and he does. I feel like if that happened,
I mean, you got the guy that shat in front of everybody in that one scene, so it's like, oh, we need that guy because you need to look like he's in pain.
you know how you got this job, don't you?
We saw your resume.
Trash can scene was great.
Under skills,
under
we
skill.
like. Daddy like.
Daddy. So then we cut to our third act. We had the big Valentine's Day party, which I was thinking, I was like, who has a Valentine's Day party? And I thought, well, we're having a Halloween 2 party.
People who are in love.
We've had a Ghostbusters themed party.
we actually, when Prince died, we had a Purple Rain party.
Did we? Was
We
I
did.
invited to this?
Yeah, we all wore purple.
No, I don't remember this.
You don't remember this? There's a
No.
picture of us all wearing
This is
purple.
weird, dude. I don't remember
Is this the
You
Untouchables?
don't remember this
night?
either?
No.
We listened to Prince all night, and
I
we wore
do
purple.
remember this, but I don't remember this.
Don't remember it.
Prince. He was a big. He was a big icon.
Who?
Prince Charles.
What are you talking about?
Prince Harry?
They didn't sing.
But yeah, oh yeah, so yeah, we have all these random parties. So I was like, okay, I guess you can have a Valentine's Day party.
Sure.
Whatever.
Well, this is like a California thing, man. If you're rich out there and you got yourself
they got
a
a huge-
mansion,
huge
you can have
house.
a party for any situation.
But you know what? And it's always
just
nice.
an excuse. Yeah, they're just
Yeah, an
using-
excuse to have a party. So while they're there, all this new metal is playing because
Dude, so much.
it was big at the time. And Dorothy's mad, and I can't remember what Dorothy was mad about.
Maybe
but-
her boyfriend disappearing.
Yeah. Oh man, I was about to get to this whole scene. Oh yeah, because Campbell's not there. I think that's why
Maybe.
she's upset.
I
But
just
we get
made
this
that
whole
up.
scene with Denise Richards where she's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to meet one of my video guys here," and then she does meet up with him, and he's like, "Hey, why don't we go upstairs?" Like, cool. They go upstairs. He pulls out his new, and he's like, "Surprise!" And he's like, "Wax it." And she gets upset, tries to leave, but then she's like, "All right, I'll stay." Ties him up. And then she goes, all right, I'm going to wax it. And she pours candle wax
And they
all
do a
over
40-year-old virgin where they wax it.
his new.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so stupid that the only reason he said wax it was so they could set up the candle wax thing. Like, I wax it. Like, I've never been...
What? Okay, here's another thing. So the cops show up at the end of this movie. There's bodies everywhere. It's a murder massacre. They go upstairs to the master bedroom, and who's tied up naked to the bed?
Help me!
And what story are they supposed to get out of this?
And there's so much
It
candle
was him
wax.
the entire time.
There's so much candle wax on his wiener. It looks like he dipped his wiener in. Like
It looks like a Crayola crayon. It's like,
I just caked in wax.
what happened in your nooner?
Oh, you know what?
Nunu.
You know what? Oh, this is the best
Would you
part
say
of the movie.
Nunu or Nooner?
Nunu.
Nunu.
Get it right.
Sorry.
So the best part is at the end of this movie, Angel and Marley are the only people left. And then Angel goes, I called the cops. They're on their way. So while they're having a moment downstairs, there's a guy upstairs going, help!
That's what I'm saying. Like the cops show up.
No,
and
cops
it's
aren't even there yet. Like there's like this dude's laying on his bed and he's like, this is the worst night of my life.
Anyone still here? I need to
And that's
clean
the
my
thing.
Daniel off.
This
I'm
guy,
very badly burnt.
this guy thinks this is the worst night of his life, right? He's like, man, this can't get any worse. But then he walks out of a literal massacre,
bodies
and he's
everywhere.
like,
He sees the
but-
commissioner's head floating in a pond.
Yeah, he's like, everyone died, and I'm alive. So he's like, he's got to have like some kind of gratitude there. Like,
I made
things
this
could
party
be
disappear.
worse.
As he's peeling off wax off his wiener.
Lesson learned: the girl who waxed my wiener's dead in a bathtub.
Is that the name
Or
of
a
that
hot
new?
tub
Is
down in
it the name
basement.
of that new series? You know, the girl with the dragon tattoo.
The what?
What were you saying? The something? Never mind.
No, go ahead.
Abandoned.
Nope.
Abandoned ship.
like
It's
how, like-
sinking. Abandoned ship.
It's like some locomotive that you're just driving. Some joke locomotive you're driving. You're like,
I
like
got
to
it.
imagine-
Got it.
I like to imagine in real life if we were in a car and Hanto made that joke and we're like, what? He's like, never mind. And he just rolled out of the car.
See ya.
So at this point, Campbell's ex shows up. And a little too late for this movie, and it's just she's just there so she can die. Pretty
She's
much.
literally in one other scene, right? And then she has like the longest death scene in this
Yep.
movie.
Well, she shows up, and then so does the art gallery guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he's at this party.
got
And
invited. I haven't seen her in weeks.
It's
but
weird. I was like, coming to find you.
I
She
just
never-
came here to
He's
tell
like-
you I haven't seen her.
He literally shows up, and he's like the +1 to a wedding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, the one that
Dude,
linked-
would you go to a wedding
that, if
that
you're
your
playing-
girlfriend,
Yeah, that's what I'm
her
saying.
friends, like she's like, I can't go. And it's like, it's fine, babe. I'll still go. I'm like,
Yeah.
who are you? I'm like,
I've
oh,
got
I'm
no
blah
one to
blah's
talk-
boyfriend.
I'm the +1.
So then at this point, Denise Richards is like, I'm going to disappear. And I guess her friends know her enough that they go, this is what happens whenever we have parties. She disappears in the hot
Throwaway
tub.
line. Throwaway. It
Yeah.
was like, we need, like, just throw it away in dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, why she even did this.
Yeah.
It's like they realize, like, this is stupid.
Especially when they say like the cop, because I can't remember if she's there when they're talking to the cop. But he's like sticking numbers, don't leave the party or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then she just immediately goes and like dips out pretty much by herself.
It's pretty dumb.
Well, she goes downstairs to do this whole hot tub thing.
Hot tub time machine.
Hot tub time machine. Just watched that recently, actually.
Oh, nice.
It was funny.
Cool.
Guys,
Continue.
Guys, it was funny. So she goes in the hot tub, and it's pretty much a basic death. I mean, actually, hers is a little more intricate. Is the word I guess I'm trying to use.
they.
Where like the killer
Why?
traps her in the hot tub by pulling the glass case down. And I guess she can't breathe under there, so he's like, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to drill some holes in this so you can breathe.
Yeah.
So he helps her out, drills holes in it.
It's almost
and
like.
he's-
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, he's trying to get her with the drill
Yeah.
bit.
Why is there a glass case on top of this hot tub, first off? And why is there...
For the movie.
But why is there, like,
I mean,
the ability
they
to
do-
lock it? Why
they-
would you have to lock it?
They do have that. I mean, that does exist.
Yeah, but why would you have to lock the case?
Maybe if you have kids. And you
Yeah, I
want them
think
to get in.
kids or like
Oh,
just
I guess
prevent
so.
stuff.
That's a good
from-
point.
Yeah.
I was figuring out, I was like, what would be the purpose? Like, it's not a safe.
This death is like very,
somebody's-
very, very lame to me.
Yes.
'Cause it's almost like he's doing all this and then he realizes at the last second, it's like, oh, I'm using
wait,
I'm using an electric drill. Just toss this in.
yeah. It
Like,
is.
why not just
honestly,
do it from the very beginning?
This could be a very creepy, disturbing death sequence. It almost
Yeah.
reminded me of like an Argento movie.
Yeah.
It had like a
Oh,
very
yeah.
like
It does, yeah.
Italian
Kudos.
style
Yeah.
Just slow and prolonged.
kill
pretty
sequence.
much,
Yeah, and but it could have been brutal. And it's like as soon as he like nicks her, he's like, oh, okay, I'll just throw the drill in. Which, by the way, the drill would not electrocute that bathtub. It would just die. It'd probably like, you know,
I mean,
like,
if it's
No, if it's hooked up to a power cable.
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah,
yeah,
really?
for sure,
It's
dude.
electricity.
Yeah.
Do you really think you could get electrocuted in a hot tub?
You want to go try it out real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard like the jokes about like throwing a toaster in like the bathtub and stuff? Like it's electricity. It's a power cord.
I guess so.
Wait, you never
I don't
knew
know
that?
about that.
No, I knew it, but I'm just saying, like, would it have like the strength
Yes.
to electrocute?
It's a
the
power
entire-
cord.
Yes.
It's hooked to yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about
Bill Murray
that.
does it in Groundhog Day.
Yeah, but it's a groundhog. It's a movie. I'm just saying, like, real
It
life.
happens. It happens to Tiffany and Bride of Chucky.
Oh God, I'm gonna look this up. Real life.
What do you
No,
What do you mean? What are
I
you
feel
gonna
like
look
I'm
up?
Don't
Does
look it up.
electricity,
Don't look
does
it up.
electricity hurt?
Don't look it up.
Don't type that into Google.
Type in does electricity.
You can't
hurt?
unsee that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I mean, like,
If it's a
Don't-
power cable hooked to the wall, it's like it's electricity.
yeah, I know. What I'm saying is, like, if it could, like, is it strong enough to, like, would it fizz out?
No.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. She's dead.
It might pop.
It's
a,
not
it might,
like-
it might pop a breaker.
I know, but I feel like, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Why? What are you getting so stressed out about? I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying
Does
that,
this
like,
bullet kill people?
I'm not saying this is bullshit. I'm just saying
Very
that, like,
inaccurate. All these movies are very inaccurate.
I think those bullets might be too soft to kill a
Forget it.
person.
Forget it.
So then we do get the Campbell's ex running around. She finds Campbell's dead body in the sauna, and then she does, like you said, has the most brutal death when.
Wait, Campbell? Who the hell is Campbell?
See, that's what I mean, bro. Dorothy's boyfriend.
Oh, Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh, you find his body?
She finds him.
She finds it like hidden under the sauna, like
Oh,
under
that's
the bench
right.
or something.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So she runs out, gets pushed through like a shower, and there's like this huge blade of
This
glass.
is like a Dario Argento.
yes.
Yeah.
This
Um,
would have been like the.
And then he
right up there.
pushes her head onto this blade of glass. It goes to her neck. It cuts,
This is the worst
but
death, man.
it's pretty
It sucks.
it's pretty gruesome. And then the detective calls and it's like,
Oh
hey,
shit!
whoa,
You know what I also
hold
have
on.
to say?
That scared me. Go
Revelation.
ahead.
There had to been something cut from this movie because there's one point Denise Richards is walking down the staircase. I forgot about this. She's walking down the staircase, and the nerdy guy that couldn't talk to anybody at the speed dating is
Yeah.
there on the staircase.
What?
In the background, he looks at the camera and he tries to say something. He's like, like he tries to look at the back at
Because
Denise
they're trying to
Richards.
make you think it was him.
But no, it's weird. It's like they like abandoned him even being there. Like he's there in the background.
They needed extras that day, and
Look,
he
no
was,
one's gonna
and
notice.
he was available.
I guess. But it's just a weird little thing to notice.
That's weird. I didn't notice at all.
But the detective calls up Marley, and he's pretty much like, hey, we had to let Marquette go. One of the guys go, whatever.
David Marquette.
David Marquette. This is at the point that Marley goes upstairs and she sees Angel drinking a beer, which the way he's crushing his beer, man, I feel like it. I don't know. I don't have an addiction to alcohol, but the way he drinks it looks so exaggerated. Where he's like, "Oh my god, yes," and he's like drinking
Yeah.
his beer.
Maybe he just
It's-
likes drinking beer after a good kill.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That's what I got.
He's got like an allergic reaction, which leads to bloody noses.
What is the bloody nose thing? Is it
I think
they don't
it might
even
I think
be-
it's just like a stress thing.
Oh, okay.
That's how I couldn't put it out as well. So
Also to reveal at the end that he's the killer.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Besides just a reveal at the end, like what is that?
So I did get that backwards though because Denise Richards dies after this scene because that's when all the power goes out in the building, and everybody pretty much leaves and they're like, "Well, peace." And then Dorothy has this whole conversation with Marley, and she's like, "Hey, I think it might be David." Blah blah blah. Dorothy in the scene actually puts a lot of good emotional effect in this because she gets into it with like Marley, and she's like, "I think it's David." Blah blah blah, and they get into it, and then Dorothy pretty much takes off, and we don't see. I don't think we see Dorothy for the rest.
She's
of the
gone
movie.
for the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, she runs away. Marley goes to call the detective, and she hears his phone ring somewhere. So she follows the phone, and there's the note that she left, Angel, and it's like floating in this pond. And then like the detective's head pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which once again, like
But what? Like,
How? Why?
maybe she filled the head with rocks or something, and then the rocks fell out.
Yep, that
It's
sounds
just-
about right.
Like the one thing that you could have fall out of your pocket, is this letter, this IOU.
I
Or
think
maybe
it's
he put
placed
that there as a
intentionally.
joke. I don't know. I don't know why he's trying to hunt
I
down
don't
Marley.
get I know there's no motivation to any
This
of it.
movie is really dumb.
It's pretty dumb.
So this is when Angel shows up. And
I will not watch it again.
No. Count me out, sir.
Marley is hesitant to talk to Angel because she thinks something's up. And he's like, hey, he's acting really creepy. He's like, just dance with me, please. So they dance. No one else is around.
I say this is basically the one scene where it feels like, okay, it's just you're just revealing at this point that you are
that
the
he is
kid.
the killer.
Yeah.
And she runs away, and he keeps chasing her. And this is when Marley's continuing. She finds like everybody dead laying around. And then Cupid pops up out of nowhere, tackles her, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, Angel shows up and shoots like 10 times.
Well, she got
into-
that gun from the cabinet, and then...
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, out of nowhere, David shoots like this killer like 10 times. Like, this is no joke.
This is all
Like,
part of
it's
the plan,
like,
yeah.
and it's like that gun that Terry Crews uses at the end of Expendables when he's walking down the hallway.
Oh, yeah. That's a cool scene.
And we pull off the mask, and it's revealed to be Dorothy.
oh, no.
Why
the
does Dorothy have this
killer.
damn mask on? I don't understand this at all.
He like set her up this way.
What do you mean set her up?
She wasn't tied. Her
wasn't
hands weren't
tied up,
tied, or she didn't have any duct
No,
tape
he
on
like
her.
knocks her out. I'm assuming because she's got a bruise on her face.
Oh, that might be it.
And then he pushes her down the doorway on top of Marley Shelton. So when they both fall down it looks like she leaps at her.
Yeah.
And they both fall down the staircase. It's
Okay.
actually kind
It's
of,
a-
honestly, I'm not hating this at
It's
this
the
point.
only-
Okay.
I'm not hating this because
That makes
it's like,
me-
it's like a really great wrap up because
Sure.
like, what a great, like, say, oh, like she has all this. She's done having this speech with Marley Shelton about like,
you
who
were
she
the
was.
popular one, or
Yeah.
you know.
So like when she turns out to be the killer,
So it's
like,
almost like she's just
oh.
jealous all these years or whatever.
Yeah.
That's okay. Now that
He pushes her out that door, and then because
Yeah.
he's right behind her with the gun and smokes
Yeah.
her.
Okay.
okay.
I'll let it slide
All right.
this time,
Yeah.
Matt.
But next time we watch this,
Next time.
I want to point out inconsistencies.
so they call.
But she
her-
has a bruise on her face, by the way. I
Okay.
don't know
Yeah,
if
I
it's
didn't really
from
notice
her
that.
knocking her out.
I thought
and
that
I
was from
think
the-
I could be wrong, but I think they make her nose look bloody, like it was
yeah.
the killer.
Okay.
So we find out they end up calling the police, and Mary just doesn't, or Marley
Marley.
just does not seem upset about this. She's just kind of like,
all of her friends are dead.
all your friends are dead. She's
Well,
like,
they kind of sucked. I think that's the kind of the premise of the movie is that like these high school friends sucked, and
I still think it would work better if they had Dorothy as the
I think so too.
Yeah,
and
more-
had her go out the
more
same way,
plausible
too.
reaction if she was like, you know what, they did kind of suck, you know.
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. So they call the police, and they kind of just
He's
have
like,
like this,
I've always loved you.
yeah, and they have
blah,
like this
blah.
kiss, and she puts her head on his shoulder, and they just kind of sit down, and then all of a sudden, this blood drips on her cheek, which she doesn't feel.
Yeah,
for some
right?
reason.
This is
Bullcrap.
stupid.
Yeah.
And then the camera pans up to reveal Angel's nose is bleeding. And it
Just
cuts to
like the
black.
beginning of the movie.
And actually, I like the fact that this happens. I like this scene.
It's all right.
I think it's a cool way to end it. And because if you think about it, there was no sequels. So if you wrote fan fiction for this movie,
Yeah.
she is with him for the rest of their lives. And she'll never know that he was the one that took out all her friends
Yeah,
and all
it's-
this stuff. Like, it's a creepy premise. It's bizarre.
They pinned all the blame on Dorothy.
Yeah, and that for the rest of her life, she's like, yeah, Dorothy. Remember that
What
time?
a piece of shit Dorothy is.
Yeah.
It's
piece.
kind of
Buffalo.
Yeah. Oh God.
Buffalo. She did it all. They don't call her Buffalo for the rest of the movie, but it is really weird.
It is weird when that scene that line comes out.
He attacked Buffalo.
So that's Valentine, 2001. What did you guys think?
I don't know, dude. Review the podcast. We just
No,
talked
like, would you
about.
watch this again?
No, absolutely not.
I did not like it when I watched it, but the more I thought about it, I'm not saying I liked it. I did not like it. You guys are looking at each other. This movie, and since we're referencing other,
watch it again. It was entertaining. I
No.
was never
I'd
bored.
watch it again next Valentine's Day.
there's another
Hi, Chris.
podcast. There's another podcast we listen to called We Hate Movies, and they talk about movies that are hangover movies. And they're like, yeah, if you're hungover the next day, you throw it on. It's like on TNT or whatever. You watch it. This is a hangover movie. If it was on in the background, I'm hungover. I'm just laying on the couch all day.
I probably still wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't watch it.
I'd probably
That's-
watch something better
What movie?
in general.
What movie do you think is just absolute garbage
That is absolute garbage.
that you just hate?
The worst
like,
piece of shit you've ever seen. What's the worst piece of shit you've ever seen?
Yeah.
The Pit.
No.
Really?
I think
hated
there's
that
something
movie.
worse than that.
That was boring, man.
I'd say I would rewatch the
we
Pit.
had a lot of fun watching it and talking.
Yeah.
There's some of those Transformer movies are boring, especially that second one, man. That movie is boring.
I will say that
Really?
that
Yeah,
new
I
bump,
hate the second.
I'll say that new Bumblebee.
I heard it was really good.
It's all right. The opening sequence is actually I would watch the entire movie of the opening sequence.
Really?
It's like it has like all the retro like sound effects, like almost like Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
And it takes place on Cybertron, and so it's just like Transformers fighting.
Oh, that's
I was
cool.
like, I'd watch all of
That's
this
really
in
cool.
a movie.
Yeah.
But then it just goes back to Earth, and then just like this is boring.
Well, dude, so back to Valentine. So yeah, the movie itself, no, it's not very good. There's so much. It's weird. I kept waiting for this movie to start, and it was like,
And then the end credits happened.
yeah, it was like it's a very long hour and 35-minute movie.
It's poorly structured.
Yeah.
Very
I will
poorly
give you though, like there are movies that I like that are considered critically bad. I'm not saying I like all movies that like are critically like acclaimed. I like a ton of movies. There's some movies that I watch that are like I know they're bad, but they're entertaining.
This is not one of them.
This is not one of them. I feel like the problem with this movie is it's just not entertaining.
No,
It's not.
Like if it's gonna have this like low of like, I'm not saying it has to be really smart. Even though I came up with like all those ideas, be like, hey, how can we make this a social horror film and make it smarter? It doesn't have to be smart, but it just has to be entertaining. I feel like this movie's not even entertaining.
The characters aren't really likable at all.
They're not likable. The death sequence are kind of boring.
Yeah, the death
plots-
sequences are really lame.
The plot's lame. It's long. It feels like a long
It
hour and a
does.
half.
And I will throw it.
And I feel like that makes me like
Too many characters. Like, and I know you did last summer. I felt like the chase sequences and deaths are way more crazy in that movie.
Oh, like the Sarah Michelle Gellar one's awesome. That's
Yeah, because he's being
Yeah.
chased for like, and you're following this character the entire time. You're not jump cutting to. I feel like the group of friends are only together in one scene. It's the funeral at the very beginning.
yeah,
and
and
from
they
there
haven't
on-
seen it. Yeah.
From there on out, it's just
and they're not very tight.
living. No.
So
They're not
I'm
very
not
tight.
buying. And I will say this movie has some. Going back to the very beginning of this podcast, it has some nostalgia effect to it.
Yeah.
because it's part of that teen late '90s slasher thing.
Yeah. So
It
you would
is-
probably give it a 45%.
No.
Bing!
Whoa!
No, not at all. I totally agree.
Winner, chicken dinner.
I agree with the 9%. I agree with the 9%.
You agree with that? How can you agree with the 9% and say it's like I would
Dude,
watch
Matt's
this
throwing
again?
his arms around.
Yeah, he is.
Because that's so frustrating for you to say something like that.
I think
you would
it's-
say it's a 9% movie, but I would watch it again. Is what you just said.
If I was hungover and it was halfway through and it was on TV, I'd be like, yeah, that's fun. That's what I'm saying.
No.
And it is the worst out of the that slasher craze. All the movies we talked about on the Scream 2 podcast. It is the worst out of that era.
yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is there.
I mean, like Teaching Mrs. Tingle, I like better
That's
than
not a
this.
slasher
What?
movie.
That's not a slasher film.
Well, no, I'm talking about that those late 90s.
Just any movie that
horror
came
films.
out.
Any movie that has a teenager.
Spider-Man is better than this movie.
Yeah, it is,
Same
yeah.
year.
Yeah, those late 90s horror
Actually, no, it's
films,
the year before.
like the Screams and Urban Legends and Teaching Mrs. Tingles and
I love how
Valentine.
you group Teaching Mrs. Tingle.
it's
It's
so-
part of it. It's
so
part of that
random,
group of
dude.
movies.
No.
So random.
It
Yeah.
is. It totally is. Because it was written by I Know What You Did Last Summer writers.
Kevin Williamson.
I think he was involved. Lois Duncan or whatever her name is.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the worst of that group of movies.
Sure.
I remembered it being okay, and it was not as good as I remembered it.
Was weird. This is just like what I thought it was back when I saw it when it came
I feel
out.
like
in
I feel the same
2001.
way. I actually remembered most of the kills, and I especially remember the twist at the end.
This is weird though, and I will say this.
I don't remember the subplot with the jealous ex-girlfriend or whatever.
No,
I did not remember that
I
at all.
will though back up your argument on this. Now the fact that I remembered like the way like some of the kills, and I
Yeah.
remember the ending.
Yeah.
It did leave some kind of impression on me because I remembered it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's been what almost 20 years since I've seen this
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
and I remembered like seeing this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like
So you liked it.
So you ranked it
45%,
45?
So my final thought on this movie, and I feel like it's going to start a little...
4 stars.
No, this was I think this is one of the worst movies we watched for this podcast. But it doesn't mean I want to watch it again as a hangover
Oh
movie.
man, you just like you're terrible with opinions.
I like to be entertained.
Like John Valentine's so upset that if you're not gonna like his movie.
You better fucking like this movie. I'm
So
gonna
the
hunt him
reason that I guess this movie had a lot of negatives,
Just
a lot
watch
of
the
bad
movie.
no, it had a lot of bad reviews, is because they said it's too comparable to 80s slasher films.
That's any
and-
slasher you take is going to be comparable to.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a
There's
weird
a formula,
thing.
and it's like
That's I feel like that's what it's aiming to go for.
You could take any of the lower tier slasher movies, and it's the same exact thing.
Even Scream, man. You can compare Scream to like 80s slasher
Maniac,
stuff.
The Mutilator.
But I'm saying, why would that get bad?
Prowler.
Why is that? Yeah. Why is that the focus of these bad reviews of like, oh man, this is too similar to 80s
because
slasher?
it's a bunch of people that don't know how to write reviews.
Yeah. Well, they're basically saying basically what they're saying with that statement is that it's nothing new.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Okay.
And I feel like that's what hurts this movie is that...
And Scream was so ahead of its time as far as like revitalizing the genre, and they did something clever with it. The slasher like costume was actually kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just following the same formula compared to Scream, kind of like what Urban Legend did, and then same director did Valentine. I know you did last summer. They're all grouping the same thing. It's like, it's nothing new.
That's fair.
I would like to see better.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Valentine. That was
Valentine.
That was Valentine. I don't know what we got coming up next.
Pick.
We haven't we haven't really discussed anything coming up, but we do. We will have a Thing episode.
Oh yeah,
that we recorded like a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
at this point.
It's very dated, so it's gonna be like a flashback episode essentially.
Totally. I am interested in hearing it again.
It's coming out.
I remember it was a good episode.
Yeah, it's good.
So, but yeah, we don't have anything planned yet, but we'll when we plan it, you'll hear it.
Suspiria.
I don't know, dude. I don't want to sit down for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
We talked about doing it. We're gonna do it.
I'd rather do that than Valentine again.
Yeah.
I don't think we were. Could you imagine if every 2 weeks we did Valentine again? Like, all right, we're revisiting Valentine.
Based off of Chris's recommendation, we're revisiting it. We all got drunk last night, and now we're watching this on our hangover day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Suspiria. That's fine. We can do that. I do want to watch. I'm interested in it.
We can't keep talking about movies that we're not going to do.
That's fine.
We followed our guns with Valentine. We talked about we're going to do it. We did it.
And we were all happy for it. So thank you so much for listening this week. Happy Valentine's Day if you're listening.
To those lovers out there.
All those lovers. Please rate and reviews on any social media platforms. We always appreciate it. If you have any requests, let us know. I know we got some books coming up. We've been talking about that Scary Stories I Tell in the Dark and some other things. But yeah, let us know. We'll do anything horror, thriller related. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
I'm Honto.
And we'll see you next time.